Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Football.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Football with some breaking news coming out today here on this Sunday. I am John Neighbors alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis. And fellas, it looks to be, as the reports are coming out, not just from some random person on Twitter, we're talking about legitimate national college football writers, experts, reporters, journalists, however you want to put it. Memphis coach Ryan Silverfield will be named the Arkansas Razorback head coach. I'm going to give it to you all. Immediate reactions and thoughts to this.
I mean, I'm stunned. I think literally everyone is at this point. Most folks out there were expecting Alex Golesh today for Arkansas. Turns out he's going to Auburn, which I didn't know that people. I mean, I think people thought maybe that would be an Ole Miss thing, whatever. Golesh to Auburn. And so the next thought was, all right, well, if it's not Golesh for Arkansas, it's Kane Womack. He's next up. There you go. So I'm still kind of, I'm like Alex Golesh right now, boys. I'm processing. Ryan Silverfield being the new head coach. Listen, immediate raw reactions just coming through on my socials and on my phone. People aren't thrilled about this. I know that we got a lot to get into, so I don't want to hog the mic too much. I said yesterday, no matter who they wind up hiring, that I'm going to go into this with an optimistic viewpoint because I'm tired of feeling negative and upset and frustrated about the direction of this football program. I'm sure I'll get there eventually. I've got a lot of questions about what the hell has taken place in this coaching search and how we landed here. And maybe we can talk ourselves through it. By the way, Summerall to Florida, I just saw the alert there.
Yeah, so I'm going to try my best to keep the most positive mindset I can. You know, like you said, Curtis, we talk ourselves into anything. I'm going to do that. But I got to be honest, man, this is a tough one. And I feel like it signals that Arkansas is what we thought they were, which is not a serious program that's really ready to compete with the big boys. I felt like once that rumored offer of 5 years, $7 million a year, 5 for 35 for Alex Golesh, once we started hearing that was what Arkansas's offer was, and that was the offer that we're assuming he's going to take without thinking of anything else, I started to get a little bit nervous. But I thought even then in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's no way Arkansas really is just going to completely bow out of a bidding war, right? Like they'll at least play the game, compete. And Curtis, you texted us late last night. Once we kind of realized the Lane Kiffin to Ole Miss or Lane Kiffin to LSU thing was going to happen, you texted and you said game on. And that's exactly what my mentality was, where I'm like, all right, Arkansas is in a battle now. It's going to be either them, Auburn, or Ole Miss. Like, let's figure out where Arkansas is. For Arkansas to bow out so immediately without considering anything else, just to bow out and take Silverfield, I feel like is kind of representative of what people have said all along, which is that Hunter Yurchek does not want to get into bidding war. He doesn't want to get into these contests. He doesn't want to compete with the best programs in the SEC at a high level. And if that's what you do, then you get the coach that no one else wanted.
Well, I mean, listen, you guys said it, and I think we all kind of knew that this was going to be, as I love to put, an insane day because of all the things that were going to transpire. I'm not going to sit here at all and say that, I was the one that reported this or anything like that. But we talked about it, and I know that you guys knew that this was something that had some serious smoke to it just weeks ago, and it's something that somebody that we know mutually, a trusted source, if you would, that kind of put this out there that it was going to be the case. And so I was just trying to work my way through it. It was like, okay, well, if it ends up being this guy, but then it was almost like immediately taken away because you start hearing about other reports, other people in the mix, other people. You're like, okay, well, maybe it's not really that. Maybe it's not as for sure as that. And here we are. I think that just because of what happened this past week in the reporting, what happened because of the excitement surrounding it, what happened because of the reasoning and all that, it really distracted so many of us from saying, all right, well, it's going to be Alex Golesh or Kane Womack kind of thing. It was like kind of like that's your fallback plan. And I think some Razorback fans maybe were hopeful that, well, maybe it's neither of them, because then in their mind, it's like, well, then that means it's got to be somebody great, somebody nobody's talking about, somebody's in the shadows, somebody that's going to be this guy. And Ryan Silverfield isn't that. I'm with you, Curtis. I've said this from the get-go. I'm going to give every coach a chance. I'm going to root for them. I'm going to hope that it all works out, and I'm going to give them the benefit in the support, just because, you know, there's times where coaches can figure it out where it may not be the thing at the very beginning. But based on just the reactions from our social medias, from our chat right now, from our Discord, from fans overwhelmingly, and the text messages we're getting, guys, this is bad. Doesn't mean Silverfield's a bad guy. Doesn't mean Silverfield's going to be this terrible coach who's Chad Moore's 2.0. We don't know. But the hire itself, in this moment, this is very bad. So we're going to try to navigate our ways through that.
John, would you like to read the chat summary from YouTube right now?
I'm afraid to.
Dang it, it just went away. But it basically was like, viewers are expressing extreme disappointment in the hiring of Ryan Silverfield. Before you make your next eloquent point, Curtis, I just want to ask, are we sure this isn't going to be a Greg Schiano situation? And I know that's like a thing that is more the exception than it is the rule. Like, people cite that as like, oh, Tennessee did it, so we can do it. But like, this is going to have unanimous disapproval. Like, I feel pretty confident in that. We've already seen that a little bit. What are the chances that Arkansas really does panic here and just backtracks and hires Bobby?
Well, if it was me, I wouldn't have necessarily made this move in the first place. I don't think it's going to happen. We know that they've been concerned about what the public perception of whatever hire they were going to make was going to be. And I have to believe that they have looked at all the various polls that have been put out there. We've done a bunch of them. I've seen other people do a bunch of them. And hey, this is not hating on the guy. It's just a fact. Ryan Silverfield has been the least well-received of any candidate that's been connected to the Arkansas job in these polls. And it's like you put him up there with Golish and Womack and somebody, and it's like 2% of the vote. And nobody has been in on that. They have to be aware of that. They did it anyway. We heard some things behind the scenes, and I will credit John for this, but from the sounds of it, Ryan Silverfield was the guy that Hunter Yurachek first brought to the table. And so if there were questions about, well, who's actually running this search? Oh, Hunter Yurachek is just a puppet in this whole operation, and it's this guy and this guy who are really calling the shots here, and they've got veto power and all that. Well, look where we wound up in the end. So could I see something like that with the outrage right now? I could see an attempt for it to happen from people. Like, that wouldn't necessarily surprise me given the outrage here. Do I think they care? Do I think that they're going to be motivated to do something because of that? Not necessarily. Why would I? Because this is not like a name that came out of nowhere where people were reacting to it in the moment. This is a guy that's been connected to the job literally since they beat Arkansas back in the old Sam Pittman days in September. And it's almost been a unanimous, nah, no thanks, we'll pass from that point to now, yet here we are. So it's this is wild. I listened to his entire Memphis press conference after their game the other day. They lost to Navy, and he was up there fighting off the mob, like defending himself for, a disappointing season at Memphis and not meeting the standards there and the things he had to do to get that right. And now he's coming into an entirely different world. I'm with you, John, from a standpoint of, does this mean that he's destined to fail and it's just not going to work and he's not a good guy, or, he can't be a good coach? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But perception is a big part of this. And when you have a football program in the state that Arkansas is, you're 2-10, you're 0-8 in the SEC. Everybody's pissed off. Some of them are apathetic. Some of them are demanding change. And after a 2-month-long coaching search, the hire that you make is one that very publicly people are not excited about. It makes you wonder what the hell we're doing here.
Yeah, and it is important to clarify that, like, public perception does not equal reality. And so we've said that. And, like, Ryan Silverfield being the guy that we don't want to be the head coach at Arkansas does not mean that he's guaranteed to be a bad coach at Arkansas. So gladly, like, I think everyone in this chat right now who's mad, us, the three of us, I think we're all very disappointed. We would all love to be wrong. And so we're all going to, like, eventually, move forward and say, all right, let's just see what the best we can make out of this is, get the best staff. Maybe it could be better than we thought. But I'm with you, Curtis, that, like, I just don't know how we got here, how this became the plan. And I remember when Sam Pittman got fired that day back at September 28th, we all kind of talked about Hunter Yurachek, and we were like, man, is this going to be it for him? Is he going to be involved in this search? Like, what's going on? I think we've gotten proven that he was very involved in this search. My only hope is that this has to be the final straw for for Yurachek. I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what he's going to do next or what it's going to look like, but it's like this coaching search. Going into the coaching search, most of the fan base was over Hunter Yurachek. They all kind of mostly wanted him out. I definitely don't think this is going to dissuade anybody from feeling that way, and I definitely don't think it's going to prove anyone wrong to where they're like, you know what, now I actually am impressed. So I don't know. I mean, I'm channeling my inner Ozzy here, but like I think we need to call for a vote of no confidence. Like I got to be honest with you, dude. Like, is there anybody in the state of Arkansas who is extremely confident in the direction this program is heading, in the direction of the leadership that is in place at the University of Arkansas? Is there anyone in the state, boosters, donors, fans, media members, administrators, anybody who feels confident that the University of Arkansas is really doing their best to be as good as they possibly can at football?
It just doesn't feel like it. And again, I just hate, guys, we've gone through coaching searches. This is the worst reaction of all time. And I'm not like saying it's a bad, at worst is in you're wrong as a fan to be upset. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying of all the coaching hires I remember all time, I've never seen an overwhelming amount of negative feelings towards it. I have not seen that. And that's not something that, and that's not something you can blame on media or blame on the Twitterverse. No, I'm getting texts, you're getting texts. Like this is an overwhelming negative reaction. And it's a kind of a scary thing because then you just start thinking about if like, even if you're not happy with it, you start pushing around. I was like, well, man, what is this press conference going to be like? What is this NIL situation going to be looking like? It's like, this is the movie you're making. Like, what is Yurachek going to say? How is this going to be spun? And I just am like, I cannot believe that it got to this point, kind of like what you guys were talking about. And it feels like, it may not be the exact same way, but it feels like almost with the Sam Pittman hire type thing, where everybody else got somebody else that they wanted that was better, and you ended up with the scraps. You ended up with the last choice in the whole thing, because Silverfield was not in the mix for the Auburn job or the Florida job or the LSU job or any job, Ole Miss job that's probably going to come up. He was not in the mix for any of them.
Barely in the mix for the one he had.
Exactly. Summerall was. Golish was. The coach that everybody else, the coaches that everybody else wanted, they went elsewhere to other schools. You got the coach that was not in the mix for anything. And that, to me, is what is so indicative of all of it, where you're getting what's left over because you're a leftover program. You have a leftover culture. You have a leftover it's a joke. And again, I hate it. I'm going to support the guy. I promise I am. But you cannot sit there and tell me with a straight face that this is a good plan, a great plan, the plan all along, and that this is something that was going to reignite and rejuvenate a fan base that is desperately grasping for air, hoping for some type of hope and faith. This just ain't it. This is not what it's going to be. Winning cures all, we all know, but it's just extremely disappointing to see that it got to this point after all of that.
Yeah, I can't believe that we've done this for 2 months to land here, and we've gone from, Lashley to James Franklin, the BS out there with Dabo and Matt Campbell and all this other stuff to ultimately get to, okay, well, we're coming around on Eric Morris. Oh, well, hey, you know what? Alex Golish. And then you wind up here is wild. And I think you made some really good points there, John. If you are outraged by this decision, by all means, be outraged by this decision. I would just say, once you get out of your system and you have some time to calm down a little bit, channel that frustration in the right direction. It's not Ryan Silverfield's fault.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And so what was he supposed to do? It's a hell of an opportunity for him. He's probably looking at it saying, hey, this is big. I'm coming to the SEC. I'll have more resources, clean slate. I'm going to come over here and turn this thing around. He's going to come over here motivated to do a good job. He didn't hire himself. He would have been an idiot to turn down this opportunity. So from that standpoint, absolutely, I'm going to support him. But I mean, we can't just sit here and ignore the outcry following this news today. It's wild. So I am going to do my best to channel my frustrations in the right direction here, and it's not towards the new head coach.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Like, and obviously we all, and like I said, we all want this to be a thing where we look back in 2 or 3 years and we say, man, how silly was that we were like livid over getting Ryan Silverfield, who wound up being a great coach. Like, I really do hope we live in that world. But let me ask you guys this question. If Sam Pittman had beaten Memphis in what was that, 3, 4? 4? It was week 4?
Yeah.
Had Arkansas wound up winning that game, he definitely doesn't get fired after the Notre Dame game. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
So if Sam Pittman, the reason he got fired is because he lost to Ryan Silverfield's Memphis team, it's really tough to fire a guy and be like, hey, the reason I'm firing you is because you lost to this coach and this team. And now the guy I'm going to have to replace you is that coach who's going to bring that team. I just conceptually, that's a really, 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 really tough sell. And so we all agree on just the optics of it. And that's what we're upset about. For anybody that, because I've seen a few people that are like, if you do a quick Wikipedia search of Ryan Silverfield, you're like, oh, I mean, he went 8-4 this year. He's had a pretty good record at Memphis. I mean, heck, his record is better than Golich. Like, it's and like we said, it's not really about Silverfield himself. It's not about the guy or even just how good of a coach he can be. It's just that we now know that you bowed out of the Alex Golich sweepstakes. We know because it was reported prematurely by a lot of people that you offered him the job. There was an offer on the table and he said no. We can play that game of hypothetical with Eric Morris. Now I'm kind of leaning towards he probably told you no as well. And it just sucks that this was kind of like the break glass in case of emergency, and Arkansas just went right to it. Like, as soon as they had any competition for Golich, they just dipped out. And I think that's a really bad leadership tone to set for your university, that anytime you have to spend money, you're out. Anytime you have to do something hard, you're out. Anytime you have to compete with one of the big boys, you're out. I mean, your fan base notices that. And I just hope the University of Arkansas and the people that are in these powerful positions realize what message they are sending to the fans.
Well, go ahead, Curtis.
I'll save my point. We got plenty to talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I put out the poll question, called the Alumni Hall poll question of the day, dealing with just a simple, do you approve of Ryan Silverfield being the next head coach of Arkansas? Guys, we have over 1,000 votes. I put it up about 10 minutes ago. Over 1,000 votes. 93% say no. 93%. Goes to show you what, I mean, it just sums it up. I saw somebody in the chat, and I know we'll get to your chats, folks, because there's so much going on, but it just feels like kind of like the nightmare that you didn't want to have, that you were afraid of. You kept thinking it's like the worst case scenario that you were wanting to avoid because you kept trying to be hopeful in something, kept trying to be hopeful in one way or the other, and it's just come to reality. And it's like, after all you've been through, after all the Razorback fans have been through, how do you get yourself ready for this? How do you get yourself pumped for this? How do you get yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to start donating to NIL. I'm going to start donating to the Collected. I'm going to start, I'm going to renew my season tickets. Like, I just don't know how this does it.
We got to get to the Womack angle of this in a little bit here, because I'm having a hard time understanding how that wasn't the next logical move. But what does this say to what you were just saying about like donating to the Collective, giving to NIL and all that? What does this tell us about all the things we were told by Hunter Yurachek when he sat up there with Bobby in that press conference about what this job is going to look like? And we're going to have the resources in place. When these candidates see the package that we're going to be able to put together, they're going to know we're for real. And then we heard all these things about tens of millions of dollars that they're raising to funnel into the program and improve the scouting department. And we're going to do all this to raise for NIL and all these things here that were going to happen, that had to be sold. And you wind up with this situation. Not only, are we worried about what the public perception of this hire is, but is Ryan Silverfield going to be any better position to succeed here than Sam Pittman was? I don't know that he is, because if the situation was that much improved, of all these other guys that they've been connected to, they wouldn't have hired one of them. Like, what was the interest in this Arkansas job actually? And so, a lot of people were just kind of poo-pooing on some national reports that were out there about like, hey, a lot of folks are kind of turned off by Arkansas' situation here. Sounds like the NIL stuff like that is still a mess over there. They're behind resource wise. Were they right? Because it was a problem. We were just hoping that, hey, maybe we got to give this dude the benefit of the doubt and it's going to get fixed. Are they there? To your point, John, now that the hire is official, are the people with the power to make some changes here to that situation going to be willing to pony up and do that? Now we got a whole other set of questions that we got to consider here. This is wild, boys. This is wild.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear at least somebody tell me what happened with Kane Womack. Like, did he just straight up say, you know what, I don't care that it's my alma mater. I'm just going to stay here at Bama? Like, did he say no? Did Arkansas hire Silverfield?
Because what everyone's saying is that Womack he like inserted himself into the conversation. Like, no, hire me.
Too.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, did they just hire Silverfield without speaking to Womack? Is this one of those things like you remember whenever they didn't get Franklin and Chuck and Bo and all those guys were like, oh, they didn't even offer Franklin. It's like, well, why not? You ended up with freaking Ryan Silverfield. Why did you not offer James Franklin? Why did you not offer Kane Womack? Why did you not up the bag for Alex Golesh? Like, and Curtis, to the point you were making, like, as sports fans, we have imaginations. And so we can always use our imaginations, but we always have to start with the information that we have. And then we can let our imagination run from there. So if Ryan Silverfield, he's going to play a bye game in game 1, he's going to win that game. From that point, we get to use our imaginations of what the rest of it's going to look like until it actually happens. And so in terms of NIL, in terms of what the support is for Arkansas, we don't really know. We just have to use our imaginations, but our imaginations have to use the information that we have. And the information that we have is you got told no by, we don't know how long the list is, but they allegedly interviewed 22 people. I'm sure they didn't offer all of them, obviously, but like, I'm sure it seems obvious that Franklin told them no. I think it's pretty obvious that Eric Morris told them no, because a lot of people at the U of A thought they had that one done. Golesh very clearly told them no. And now you have Ryan Silverfield. And again, we don't know for sure. That doesn't necessarily equal you don't have money and you don't have support and you don't have a good infrastructure in place. But if we are using our imaginations based on what we have available, I'm guessing when this contract comes out, it's not going to be a record-breaking contract. I will go ahead and predict for you now, Ryan Silverfield is going to be one of the worst-paid coaches in the SEC. Matter of fact, I will guarantee you Ryan Silverfield will be among the 5 least-paid coaches in the SEC. This will be one of the cheapest coaching contracts, which if you follow anything, whoever gets hired the most recently has the biggest contract.
Yep.
Eli Drinkwitz, as of right now, has a very large contract because he just signed it the other day. Lane Kiffin's about to sign with LSU. He's about to have the highest contract in the SEC. Whoever gets hired next, they will have the new highest contract. Arkansas does not play by those rules. Arkansas, no matter who they hire, they are going to be in the bottom 5 of the SEC. I would venture to guess their support staff is going to be in the bottom 5 of the SEC. I would venture to guess their NIL situation is going to be in the bottom 5 of the SEC. Until we have information that proves otherwise, and we are yet to get that information, despite how many morons on the internet keep spreading rumors that we do have that.
I just want to share this poll. I know we like doing the polls thing here. Brett McMurphy put one out just a few minutes ago, but it's already got over 1,500 votes. Which school hired the best American Conference coach? Leading the way, John Sumrall going to Florida, 39%. Next up, Alex Golesh going to Auburn, 33%. Then Eric Morris to Oklahoma State, 26%. Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas, 3%. 3%. So that's what we're working with here. By the way, we're talking about money. Pete Nakos, it's a 6-year deal averaging roughly $7.4 million for Alex Golesh at Auburn. I think I saw 7.5 for Sumrall at Florida.
You think Arkansas is going to be below both of those numbers?
I think they're going to be below 7.
Which, by the way, we talked about this yesterday on the pregame show. If you go back and listen, and we talked about that. The offer for Arkansas to Golesh was allegedly, quote unquote, 7 for 35, and Auburn ends up getting him for 5 for 35, $7 million a year, and then he ends up going for 7.4 at Auburn. Am I to believe that Auburn literally upped the bag by $400,000? And then Arkansas was just like, all right, we're out. All right, no more. I no longer want to be at the auction. I'm out. We can't go to 7.5. I'm sure it's not that simple, but we talked about it because we talked about this earlier in the week because the thing we heard was Hunter Yurchek kept saying, we want to get this done before all the dominoes start falling, which obviously he failed because dominoes started falling throughout the week. I mean, with Eric Morris, if you really were dead set on getting it done before all the dominoes fall, why didn't you just offer him, I don't know, $8 million, before he could even give him a number that he's just like, he's going to agree before he can even hear from Auburn, before he can even wait and see how the Lane Kiffin thing plays out. If really $7 million was all you were prepared to offer your head coach as an SEC program, you are not adequately competing at a high level in the SEC. And you have to be aware of that. And I hope the administration understands, like, I get it. It's not my money. So it's easy for me to say, hey, yeah, throw a bunch of money at these guys. But the other SEC programs that you are competing with are doing that. And so it's, again, you can tell the fans, well, we just don't have the money. And sorry, where are we going to get the money from? You're in the SEC. Like, that's what you do. Look at what Ole Miss is doing. Look at what Auburn's doing. Look at what LSU's doing. They all are spending a ton of money on their coaches. If you don't want to spend big money on a coach, you're not going to get a good coach.
No, you're just not. And like, I know we have a lot of reactions, and I know that I've seen some people, seen some former players throw out their support and saying this is a great hire for Arkansas. And I've seen Memphis people like tweet out to be like, hey, thank goodness you hired him type of thing. Like, it's a mixed reaction. But my thing is like fans are going to react the way that they want to react. And people will probably just try to, again, spin it as to just the nasty people on Twitter and all of that. But it's like, it was about the showmanship and the perception of you going out and saying, hey, this is different. This is different. You're Hunter Yurchek. This is going to be different from the previous coaches we've had. This is going to be different when it comes to the financial support. This is going to be different. This is not showing that it's different. And I'm not saying this for sure, but man, why not just keep Bobby Petrino? Like that's how a lot of people feel. And this is kind of what we talked about because we knew people would say that anyways. But this is one of those things where some people are going to be like, maybe. Like, it's put everyone in a pretzel of you promised us, you tried to make us feel good that it's going to be okay and it's going to be better and that you're the man for the job and all of that. This just does not inspire anything for anyone on making it feel like, hey, this era of this new coach is going to be different than the previous era when it comes to support, when it comes to the feelings, when it comes to the winning side of stuff. It just doesn't inspire it right now.
I mean, we were as critical as anybody of the Bobby thing. Even John, who was loved by Petrino as much as anybody, going into this whole thing. The last few weeks when the coaching search started, we were very skeptical, and we all said, hey, if Bobby doesn't win X amount of games, you just can't do it. Even literally last night, we were arguing. We were like, hey, it just doesn't make sense after going 0-8 to keep Bobby. Like, it just doesn't. This is kind of the one exception where I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think, to your point, John, like, I'm not even saying those fans are necessarily right. But, the fact that we can even have that conversation now of, would it have been better to just run it back with Bobby speaks to how crazy this is and speaks to how disappointing this is in the grand scheme. And we'll get to it in a little bit, I'm sure, but it doesn't help when you had so many people in the fan base who claim to have sources that are telling fans, you're getting Matt Campbell, you're getting James Franklin, you're getting Kenny Dillingham. And so it's like, listen, you have a mutiny on your hands now. And I can't tell the fans they're wrong, man. The fans are well within their rights to feel the way they feel.
Would we be reacting at least slightly differently right now had Trey Schapp not said Alex Golesh was going to be the hire? Like, had we just not known that and this happened today, people would still feel some type of way about it, no doubt about it. But when you were flat out told that you got the bird in hand and then he flies off to Auburn and you wind up here, that's certainly impacting things as well.
Breaking news.
Tough, man.
Breaking news regarding Reed Bauer, former Razorback who also played for Ryan Silverfield. Would y'all like to hear his take?
Sure.
He says, spending 5 years as an Arkansas Razorback and 1 year as a Memphis Tiger, I can confidently say that hiring Ryan Silverfield was a home run hire. I couldn't ever run out of good things to say about this man, and I'm excited to see what he will do with the program. Woo pig. Legendary punter Reed Bauer has chimed in, so take that for what it's worth.
That's good to hear. Did Am I wrong in my think? Simeon Blair, did he go there?
I mean, Blair was a Memphis Tiger, I believe.
We got to hear from Simeon Blair. All right, Reed Bauer's one thing. If I hear
Bring
from
back Simeon Blair as DC.
Yeah.
Now, and here's what I'll say about Silverfield. And this will be my first opportunity to prove my point about my anger being towards Hunter Yurachek and the administration for how this has gone down. You hear a lot of that about Silverfield, like that, what Bauer is saying. And one thing I did come across impressed with in the buildup and the aftermath of that when they beat Arkansas, wasn't impressed with that because everybody beats Arkansas, but he did really come across as like a motivator. Guys played for him, that kind of guy, like had the personality for it. But also coming into the year, and this is one of our talking points, and we were like, hey, don't overlook Memphis because they have the most NIL of any G5 school out there. And like from a resource standpoint, they're more well off than any of the other schools in their situation. And, then he lost to UAB and interim coach Alex Mortensen, and they got smacked around by Navy. They lost to East Carolina. You know what I mean? So it is screaming doing less with more. And I know he kind of had a little bit of not great. I guess his first 3 years, and Memphis is coming off a really good tenure there. He had the back-to-back double-digit win seasons, and so like if you really want to continue your arc, you build on that. And maybe you're in that American Conference title game, and having a shot at maybe sneaking in the playoff or something. But they didn't. They kind of backtracked this year also, and so any allegations that he had that he might have somewhat escaped with those 2 really good seasons. Then you have this year, and there was a lot of consternation. I keep going back to that press conference I watched the other day, and it wasn't like with Golish and some of these other, and Summerall yesterday is like, okay, so you're in the mix with other jobs. Like, what do you say to that? And he's getting asked all those questions. Then for Silverfield, he's up there like, yeah, we didn't do a real good job this year, here at Memphis, and 8-4 it's not okay here relative to what's expected of us. And I'm just like,
well, dude,
oh boy.
Do y'all remember, and I've told the story before, I'm going to tell it again, and for those that watch our postgame shows, we had a Memphis fan who came into our Arkansas versus Memphis postgame show and was like, dude, y'all are crazy. Like, Memphis fans want Ryan Silverfield gone. And we were very dismissive. In that moment, we were like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, Ryan Silverfield's not on the hot seat. Like, he's not about to get fired at Memphis. And we kind of dismissed it. But to the point he was making and the point you're making, Curtis, like that is very much a sentiment in Memphis, is that they don't love Ryan Silverfield. As a matter of fact, we've had multiple Memphis fans in this very chat now come in and say, thank you for hiring our coach. Now, again, public perception does not equal reality. And so you could also look at that and say, well, Memphis fans are tired of him, but they win, every year. So maybe there's something to that. And so I'm not here to like declare that he's a bad coach based on public perception. But there definitely is something to the idea that, like, the people that are closest to him, the people that know him the best, are not satisfied right now. That doesn't mean that he can't have success in the future. I mean, he's a young guy, but I do think that's never something that makes you feel good as a fan, as a Razorback fan. And you compare it to Golish, where, some South Florida fans were butthurt, but like you look at Tennessee fans who were around Golish, and they're like, dude, that is a big time hire. If he goes to Arkansas, wow, that's impressive. Like, they were all very complimentary. They were all like, oh crap. Like, Golish, that's a dude right there. Like, everyone that was around him feels that way about him. Summerall, who I'm not even that high on, people that are around Summerall all are like, everyone from Kentucky, everyone from Troy, everyone from Tulane, they all are like, yeah, that dude's, he's got a vision, he's energetic, love that guy. He's clearly on a great path, great trajectory. That's why those guys were getting offered other jobs. I just don't think that Ryan Silverfield is viewed that way by his own fans. I don't think he's viewed that way nationally. I don't think he's clearly not viewed that way by Arkansas fans, which doesn't mean he isn't going to be that next great coach who's on the up and up or whatever. It's just tough whenever like you have a coach and you're trying to like find optimism, and literally nobody will give you that. Like, other than literally Reed Bauer, who punted for him for 1 year. Maybe Simeon Blair will come out and say he's good, but it's like, and I'm serious when I'm saying this, like, if you're a Memphis fan or a writer or a whatever, and you have anything positive to say, please reach out to me and say it, because I want to hear at least 2 people vouch for Ryan Silverfield and be like, he's not that bad,
Well, I just, somebody sent me a text from a Memphis media outlet with some stats here, and it says Arkansas AD Hunter Yurachek just saved Memphis football by hiring Memphis head coach Ryan Silverfield. 3-12 against teams above 500 on the road, 12-20 against teams above 500, period. 0 AAC title game appearances in 6 seasons. Went 4-4 in AAC play with losses to UAB, East Carolina, Tulane, and Navy. That's not a ringing endorsement.
Hey, that
You know
Navy
what I
team's
mean?
good though. You got
It says Memphis fans have been begging for a change all season, and they just got it. Thank you, Arkansas.
I'm just
So
like,
we got
I have the most positive fans that I know, the most optimistic Homer fans. No matter what, we're going to win every game. Messaging me and texting me, being like, "This is a disaster." Like, that's when I'm just like, the nicest, sweetest fans that would never say, like, don't even want to say anything bad, are saying how disappointed and how upset they are.
dude.
And it's just, again, overwhelmingly, guys, in the poll, I know I'm going to keep updating. We have 3,000 votes, over 3,000 votes. 92% still. No, 92%. It's like, I have never seen anything like this in my Razorback fandom or in covering it. I haven't seen any higher like this and any feeling. You know what? This might be the most united Razorback fans have been in a long time. Like, truly. That's how it feels.
Last night, we got low broed by Eli Drinkwitz.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're there, little guy. Better days are ahead. And this morning, we're getting the thank you cards, the salutations from Memphis.
Well, dude, remember last night whenever Arkansas's athletic director was photographed out at a local drinking hole, and it's like we were kind of wondering, we were like, is he out because he's celebrating a big hire? Is he out because he's been relieved of his duties and he's done? Like, what does that mean? That was the look of a man who had just hired Ryan Silverfield and was going to drain his sorrows.
Yeah.
I will be draining my sorrows at Goat Lab in a little while too. So
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I would say, like, I think everybody's going to be, Sunday fun day is not going to be today. It's not going to be a Sunday fun day today. It's going to be, it's like, again, I'm curious of when they'll officially announce it. I put the statement out, because of course, sometimes the emails don't always go through. So we'll see that. We'll see when they do the press conference and the ceremony of when that'll be, because that's going to be another fascinating thing, guys, is to see how that plays out. Because given the reaction, because remember, we talked about it. The thing that I heard, the U of A is nervous about the fan reaction. They're concerned about the fan reaction. Well, you got the fan reaction, and now you see why the concern was there. And so what are they going to do about that concern? How are they going to handle that concern? How are they going to approach it? I mean, this is a, now that it's not I guess we can't say it's official because of the U of A has not put out a statement, but it's done. Like, we all know it's going to be happening. And again, I'm hopeful for things. I'm hopeful that there'll be something done, but I know we'll get to all your chats, folks. We may go live for 8 hours today. Who knows? But like, the thing is about it is, if you are Yurichek, okay, this is your mess. This is your mess. You have to get out there on the podium or whatever and really hammer home of why this guy is going to have more NIL than anybody ever existed. Like, you have to sell this more so than just, hey, be excited because he's our new coach. Be excited because he's got a good record of 50-25. No, you have to say, this is why we're doing this, because he has this amount of things that's going to make him great. You can't just sell the fans of, hey, check out his Wikipedia page. No, you got to sell it. And you got to sell it in a major way to convince people, instead of, you just got to be able to do something. Communication's been the problem. This is going to be your one time. You see how fans are feeling. And we know that there's been such a disconnect with the fan relations with the U of A. This is your time to try to, if you get up there and you just completely and totally do the same bit of, like, this is the only man we ever wanted. He's a grid winning coach, blah, blah, blah. Like all the coach speak. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but something needs to happen. Like, this is as bad as I've seen it in the fan base feeling right now. It's as negative as I've ever seen it.
I'm already getting tagged in Twitter on stuff with people who are trying to go protest at the Jones Center and stuff. Like, it's just,
Why the Jones Center?
I don't know.
It's like,
It's this is crazy. It almost makes you wonder too if from like the human element standpoint, like, you know, wipe your tears away with the millions of dollars you're about to get or whatever. But it does make you wonder if Silverfield is seeing all this reaction and is just like, I'm good, fam. You know what I mean? Is he going to Dana Altman us here or something?
Yeah.
But I imagine he's probably self-aware enough to know he's going to be in a prove it position here. I'll be fascinated to see what he says in his press conference. Here's what I wouldn't do. I would not do the thing that they love to do when they hire new coaches, where they have the new coach and Hunter Yurachek sitting side by side up at the podium. They need to do separate. Yep. Both of them need to talk, and both of them have a lot of questions to answer, but that needs to be separate, in my opinion. I'll be interested to see what Silverfield's rallying cry and everything like that is. I want him to have a fair shake to do it. I just feel like if he's sitting up there with Hunter, that everybody's going to be pissed off about it and seeing red, not even wanting to hear what the man has to say.
Yeah, I think that's very possible. You know, I'm a big proponent of like whatever, you know, moment we're in, we set the circumstances, we set how we feel, and then whatever happens, we adjust based on how we need. Like going into every game, we always do the game of like, all right, if they lose, it means this. If they win, it means this. And that's just kind of how we remember. And on this show, we try and keep everyone like in the loop of like, hey, this is how we felt before. Then this happened. Now here we change. I really do hope it is as simple as, you know, like you said, he goes up on the press conference. He really sells us on his vision. And, you know, we say, all right, hey, you know what? He's a nice guy. He's done okay. He's young. He's learning. We can figure this out. He's got a plan. Let's just hear him out and make it work. But man, it's going to be really tough. We've got, I guess, you know, 9-10 months before we can really talk ourselves into this. But I think like going into this season, there was such little like buzz and optimism around Razorback football. I think it's going to be at an all-time low, man. And again, it's not even about Silverfield himself. It's really not even about his resume or what he's done as a coach. We're going to spend plenty of time talking about it. And there's some stuff there that you like. There's some stuff there that you don't like. Again, it's not even about him. It's just when you add all these things up, hiring Ryan Silverfield in and of itself isn't the most egregious thing in the world. But when you hire him after being promised that Alex Golesh was your coach, when you hire him after the disaster that was this 2-10 season, when you've been publicly admitting you have not been funding your football program and supporting it adequately, when you add all this in and you add in the fact that you didn't fire Sam Pittman in 2023, you didn't relieve him of his duties in 2024 when you had a very perfect opportunity while he's having freaking hip surgery, you do all that, you kind of, the more you drag this thing out, it's like you better come out of this with a bad, you know, with a really obvious plan that works. And so it's like, if they had just simply fired Pittman in 2023 and hired Ryan Silverfield, maybe I wouldn't feel as strongly as I did. But the fact that you drug this thing out, you milked that Sam Pittman era for all it was, and you waited until he brought the program back to where he found it, which was a 2-10 winless SEC squad. You waited until then to fire him. Once you did that, the stakes for this hire changed completely. This is no longer an acceptable plan B now. Like, this is no longer acceptable. And I just hope that everyone at the University of Arkansas knows that. And I hope that the people that made this happen, honestly, get relieved of their duties, frankly. I don't know how else to word it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, man. I just wish that there was something that I could say or to feel about like giving Razorback fans a thing. And I do feel bad for Ryan Silverfield because like we keep talking.
I already feel bad for. I do. Yeah.
I feel like it, and it's not his fault. I mean, it's not his fault. It's not.
Sure.
It's a tough thing to where you want to be. You know, you want to be nice to people. You want to be, understanding. You want to be respectful, and I think we're doing that. But I'm just saying, as a fan, it's like you when you direct your anger, you can't direct it towards the guy that he just applied for the job. I mean, like if I applied for the job and Hunter Yurachek gave it to me and everybody was mad, it's like, is it my fault? Like, is it my fault because I wanted the job? No, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation, but I don't know what else can be done to try to wake up the administration and wake up Yurachek, wake up everybody, and be like, you have to start understanding your fans and relating to your fans and communicating with your fans and being with your fans. Like, this just continues to go down the more and more pathway of the disconnect that you have. It just is there. And I feel bad not only for that, but it's like, I feel the worst for Razorback fans. That's who, honestly, I truly feel the worst for. because you've been getting dog whipped in football. And shout out to him. Trey Biddy lost his mind on his walk and talk yesterday, and something I haven't ever seen him do before. You guys worked with him, and I completely agree with him. Though, it's like, yeah, like that shows you how things are going when people who know what this is capable of and know how much better it could be. It's just everybody's losing it because they know how important it is, and this is just not something that's going to. It's about the inspiring. It's about the understanding of how good this should be. And I mean, everybody understands how important it is, but except for, I guess, the people in charge who are making the hire.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Yeah. I listened to that walk and talk, and yeah, he lost it on there, man. I don't blame him. He was coming to the realization right there in real time that this was a shit show. We came to that a while back, but I could imagine the flood of emotions when you reach that conclusion. I feel bad because, yesterday was like the eulogy on the post-game show for this football season. It's like, thank God it's over. And think about the messages, that we had there, Andrew, of it's just been brutal. The culture is a problem. But now we can look forward to better days. Does it mean Arkansas is going to suddenly be the best program in the SEC? No, but what were we saying? It's like, hey, within the next 24 hours, we should be able to show some optimism and start plucking guys off the roster for the coaches coming over here. And, if it's Golish, we can start talking about that quarterback. And hell, if it's Womack, we can start looking at Alabama's defensive depth chart and who, didn't see it going this direction. After all that, and we were pumping the brakes heavily on the let's be careful about the Golish being a done deal thing. But I was 100% certain that if it wasn't going to be him, that it would be Womack. I can't believe that we're here.
Yeah, people always say the terminology. Y'all ever heard the phrase "dare to be great"? Dare to be great. Dare to do something crazy. And I think I've been thinking about that a lot. And because I think from an outsider's perspective, I'm sure there are some people who could look at this and read our chat and say, man, that's a spoiled Razorback fan base. They just won't be happy with anything. And I really just don't think it's one thing to just not hire a good coach. Like if you have a coaching search that doesn't go your way, okay. I mean, frankly, in 2019, when Arkansas hired Sam Pittman, people were way more excited and willing to hear that out because I think people understood, hey, Arkansas's in a bad spot. They tried to get a good coach. They couldn't get a good coach. They ended up settling for a guy that wanted the job. Okay. Here, it's just, it doesn't even feel like Arkansas did that dare to be great. I don't truly believe Arkansas's athletic department tried to do something great here. I don't think they viewed this coaching search as an opportunity to take a big swing. I don't think they viewed this coaching search as an opportunity to really shift things in the state and really change the perception of Arkansas football. I think they are just trying to get by until they are all eventually fired. I really do in my heart believe that. And it's like with basketball, Calipari's lost the two big games that he's lost this year. They lost to Duke. They lost to Michigan State. That's frustrating. We've been annoyed by that. We've been sad. But none of us sit there and say, oh, man, this is a flawed program. And, because we at least know Arkansas tried to be great. They went out and hired Calipari. They spent a crap ton of money on the roster. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And we're going to be sad if it doesn't work. Make no mistake about that. But it's one thing because we at least can lay our head on our pillow at night and know, hey, they're doing everything they can. John Calipari and John Tyson and all the people involved, they're doing everything they can, trying to be great. They're taking a big swing. Their goal is to compete for a national championship with the top players in the country. And they might not accomplish that goal. And if they don't, like I said, we will be sad and we'll deal with it. But it's another thing to where you don't even know if your athletic department is trying to have success. You can't even honestly, with a straight face, look in the mirror and tell yourself, no, Hunter Yurchek, he crossed every T and he dotted every I. Like he left no stone unturned. He gave it his best effort during this coaching search because none of us believe that. Like literally not one person in the state truly believes Hunter Yurchek did everything he could to get the best possible coach. And it speaks volumes whenever Golish goes to Auburn for $7.4 million. I know that's a lot of money, but it's like, good Lord, if you were like really dead set of like, we have to get a coach that we want and we feel this is the guy, take out a loan, do something. Ole Miss, literally, I'm not even joking. Ole Miss football has been hemorrhaging money for like 5 years now. They have been losing money because they're just doing everything they can to try and make this thing work. And they're in the playoff, and they're probably not going to win the playoff. And their coach is about to leave them for LSU because they're now running out of money. But they at least tried to be great. You know what I mean? And their fan base is not going to sit there and look at Keith Carter and be like, oh, you didn't even try. They know he tried. They had a good run with Kiffin, and now it's coming to an end. That's different than just a athletic department and an athletic director and a failed leader at the top who is not even taking big swings, who is not even trying to put his best foot forward. He's just trying to survive. He's like a damn cockroach that will not die.
And it might not even be for a lack of trying. It's probably just because he can't. And the fact that he can is his own damn fault. The flaw in the reporting was that that Hunter Yurachek didn't want to get into a bidding war. The reality of the situation is he couldn't get into a bidding war. That's where they're at right now, because there's just no way you can convince me that the type of support necessary to attract even a, semi-exciting coach is there. So that's where we're at here. Jeff Calkins, he's a columnist at the Daily Memphian. So we're looking for what like the Memphis reaction to this is. Said Memphis got lucky today. There's no guarantee that the next Memphis coach will do better than Silverfield, but it was going to be hell to try to sell another year to the fan base. That is what their beat writers are saying about this. And so for anyone out there who thinks, we're being harsh about it, and again, we're pissed at the decision-making here, not necessarily the guy, but this is what's going to have to be sold by Yurachek, by, Silverfield's going to have to sell himself to the fan base, to the media after that. Like, this is going to be rough, man.
Yep.
It is. That's the reality of the situation and the world that we're living in now. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. And again, I know we'll get to your chats, folks. There's just so much. I do want to kind of get into it, guys, a little bit. And, maybe this is just going to be a lot of speculation on our part, but like, now that we kind of know what the end result is, like what do we feel like happened? Because it's, well, in this way, like, was Alex, because remember Otis Kirk reported that Alex Golesh was never interviewed, and that was kind of a thing when Trey Schapp came out and said his report, it was like, oh, well, he said, like, was Alex Golesh even interviewed? Like, I mean, it legitimately, like, was he actually ever interviewed? Was it something to where, when the whole thing with, these Eric Morris, which I think a lot of us felt pretty confident that was that as serious? Like, it just starts making you rethink the whole thing of like, was anything true? Was this something? Because remember the reports of they have their guy, they have their guy, they have their guy. Was it Ryan Silverfield literally the whole time and they just never talked to anybody else? Because from the jump, because I'll go ahead and say it now but now it's out. Yeah. And for everybody out there, when the only reason that I or us or anybody start talking about Ryan Silverfield seriously is because of my boy Matt Moscona down, who covers LSU or in Baton Rouge, does Locked On LSU, does ESPN 104.5 Baton Rouge down there. Great friend and very plugged in. He called me weeks ago saying, hey, Silverfield's going to Arkansas. I have it from my best source down here. He's going to Arkansas. And I was like, I mean, are you sure about it? He said, let me double check. He goes, yep, it's real. He's going to be the next head coach. That's where this all started from our end. And I want to give him credit and shout him out, because it's like he's the one that really broke the story, if you would. And that's why I'm just trying to look back into this whole, we could write a book on the whole process, but it just makes me wonder, like, and I don't know, maybe we'll never find out who actually was interviewed, who is actually in serious contention. How did this all play out? Was this a desperation last minute? Oh crap, we got nobody else, let's do it. Was this actually from the get-go? Like, I just wonder how this whole process came to be.
I'll be interested to see what we learn from that standpoint, because I'm with you. And it's funny that now that this is official, a lot of the things we said that we felt were going to be a given it's becoming a lot more difficult, right? Like the whole thing about the optimism and it's the Donovan New Era, getting the stench out of Fayetteville, all that stuff. And I'm just like, damn, it feels more stinky today given the reaction. But also, how many times did we say the thing where we're like, well, it doesn't matter how this winds up. He will be the only guy who was offered the job. Whoever gets it will be the only guy. Hunter, you can't even go up there and say that, bro. I'm sorry, man. You just can't. By the way, I found another one. Jason Munns, he does a great job covering Memphis. Really good basketball guy too. But his tweet: Memphis fans are rejoicing today. Arkansas fans are melting down. Incredible.
I mean, listen, those are two facts. And whether or not Ryan Silverfield ends up being a great coach, those are facts. And that's just the circumstances that we find ourselves in. John, I appreciate your transparency. And I remember that. I remember you texting us about that. And if you remember, we were all kind of like, WTF, like we were like, wait a minute, what? Like, how did that happen? And we were like confused by it, just the way that, everybody else is. And that's very interesting. And I'm with you. I'm kind of starting to think back onto all these eyeball emojis and all these they have their guys, and certain people going out on their show and being like, oh yeah, Arkansas is definitely getting a Power 4 head coach, like definitely. And all these people who promised all these things, you, the fan base, I want you to hold those people accountable, frankly. I know you're never going to do it because Arkansas fans have never held anyone accountable for being wrong about something ever, unless it's a score prediction. Ask them straight up to be like, hey, so who the hell were you talking about when you were doing these eyeball emojis? Who the hell were you talking about when you said Arkansas had their guy? Because a lot of those people were hyping it up like they had something cool for you. And like, listen, I know that like there's certain things that we aren't allowed to say on this show, like that, for example, John, of like something you weren't going to just in the moment out Matt Moscona and be like, oh, this is what I'm hearing from Matt Moscona and his agent or whatever. But it's like, we're pretty transparent, the three of us, about what we think, about what we feel, and sort of where we're at in this thing and what's real and what's not. I feel like we haven't been lying to people. And so I hope people feel like they can trust us. But for all those people that came into the chat and would tell us other things that other people reported, go take this up with them. Go tell them to tell you what they heard. Because honestly, I'm just as confused as you guys are.
Hey, so I got another few things just real quick. When Alex Golesh got hired by Auburn, Coach Dillingham tweeted out, quote tweet said, "Great hire, love this, great fit." It's like, you don't really see that going on for Silverfield right now. But also to your point, Andrew, you were talking about like the reporting and all that stuff. Like, listen, I don't mind Brett McMurphy, but this is the kind of crap that pisses me off. Where he goes out and he quote tweeted the report and he goes, "Silverfield has been the quiet front runner to replace Sam Pittman for quite some time." I'm like, okay, stop.
Shut your ass up.
Well, then where were you at with that? Because you were the one also reporting the Golesh crap. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the things that come out and come to fruition where it's like, all right, how much of it was crap, how much of it was real, how much, what maybe, and again, we will probably never know what truly is the backdrop of all of this and like what really went behind closed doors. But, these next few days are going to be interesting, guys. I know that, I guess it was last Tuesday and this Tuesday have both been kind of reserved out for the possible press conference. And I think that that's probably going to happen on Tuesday. We'll see when the official announcement comes out from the University of Arkansas and how this plays out. But we're going to have it all right here, folks. We're going to have it each and every day, giving our reactions to it. Whenever the press conference happens, we'll have our reactions to that. Whenever he gets his staff together, we'll have some of that. Well, whenever he gets his players, his transfer portal, all that, we're going to talk about it here. So I know we keep saying it. We get it. You're angry. You're pissed. You're frustrated. As Curtis said, direct it to the right places. We're going to talk about things. If it's good things, great. If it's bad things, that's too. But we're going to do our best we're all in this together. We're all in this together to navigate it together. And, we're just going to do the best we can. So just remember that, folks. Again, and by the way, also, too, I guess the Jones Center, this is classic. The Jones Center actually is, the academic Jones Center, not the Jones Center in Springdale with the ice rink. So y'all y'all out there saying the Jones Center make sure that you say the academic center at the U of A if that's where you're doing your protest or whatever, not the Jones Center where the kids are ice skating here this afternoon. It's on a Sunday. So.
Good grief.
Y'all want to hear a positive Ryan Silverfield report?
Let's do it.
Y'all remember Anthony Switzer, famed former Razorback who spent a few months on campus?
Yep.
He's been very talkative during this coaching search, which is interesting.
He's
a big Bobby guy. He says, quote, "Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas is equal to Kurt Signetti to Indiana. But y'all fans wouldn't know dog poop emoji if you stepped in it, LOL. That's a coach that you flip a culture and program with and is a big-time guy without the name and hype yet."
Okay. Listen, I'm not calling out anybody that's excited or trying to be positive about this. But again, I ask, why was he not on anyone else's list then? Like, why was no other major Power 4 job he and even in consideration for? It goes back. It's like in recruiting, guys. If you have a player that's a 3-star player that commits, and you're kind of like, well, okay, whatever. But then you see he had offers to Bama, Georgia, and LSU and all that. It's like, oh, well, forget the 3 stars. He got offers to these other big places, so he must be good. That's kind of how people are going to feel about this coaching hire. It's like, yeah, it's maybe a 3-star player, but where was his other offers at? And if you don't see that nobody was really having him in the mix, that's another red flag for a lot of cases. If you hired Alex Golish, like originally reported by the sales guy, then I think everyone's like, well, dude, he was somebody that all these other schools wanted and was vying for. And Tennessee fans, you guys remember the Tennessee fan reaction? Man, that's crazy. That's going to be, man, that's awesome for them. I wish we had him. But, and then the Memphis reaction is kind of like, good riddance. Couldn't happen quick enough. Like, there's just from all sides. I think you brought up, Curtis, from all sides. There's just, I can't find anything, man. I can't find anything or anybody that's like, awesome. Yeah, this is great. Yep. Other than just people trying to manifest some positive energy.
Does Bray Cook move your needle?
Well, Bray Cook's been texting me. He has been texting. I saw him. And
listen, Bray Cook, I do actually respect his opinion, so I will hear him out.
Bray Cook said, I've spent a lot of time with a lot of coaches, spent a lot of time around Ryan at Memphis, a lot of time around the Hogs. This is a great hire for Arkansas football. There you go.
Listen, that doesn't change my mind, but I am appreciative to hear that, because I was saying earlier, I'm just happy that like somebody's coming out and being like, hey, he might not be that bad,
Yeah. Well, and he also texted me too, and he said, hey, the support, because me and him have been texting a lot, and he was also one of those that talked about, hey, it's going to be Silverfield. This is about a week or so ago. But he just texted me this morning, and I'm sorry I haven't responded, Bray. It's been kind of busy, but he's like, hey, support for Ryan will go a wrong way. He's like, I know the money is behind him, which, okay, I'm not saying this is a report from a Bray Cook, but if that's true, if the money is behind him, then that's what we're talking about. Great. But I don't know or think, from what I understand it, that it is. So, these are the things that we're just going to have to, I don't know, just kind of have to figure things out and hope and all that. But I saw him, I guess, Travis Swanson, I think, was also one. I don't know if you were about to bring that up, Curtis, but Travis Swanson is another one that, he gave his endorsement, said it's a good hire. So, and that's the thing, is I'm not going to attack anybody that says, hey, I like this hire. Like, I'm not going to be like, you're an idiot if you do, because I'm not going to do that. But I also want to look at it through the lens of, if you're somebody that does think it's a great hire, you don't lash out at people that are concerned. Like, don't be like, you guys are all idiots if you think this is a bad hire. It's like, no. You can have your opinion, but don't go after the people that are concerned and worried and frustrated and angry about this because you're like, yo, you guys are idiots. No.
It is worth noting
fans have a right to be, they've already had a right to be concerned. They have an extremely justifiable reason to be concerned and worried about the future of the program they love so much.
Not to be dismissive of Bray Cook or Travis Swanson or Frank Ragnow, sorry for your failed comeback or whatever, but these are the same people that literally wrote the letters that got Sam Pittman hired. And so, listen, like I said, it's certainly not changing my mind. I'm glad that somebody is coming out and making the point, but I also do take that with a very, very small grain of salt, because these are some of the people that got Sam Pittman to Arkansas to begin with.
Yeah. Again, I want to keep reiterating, folks, and appreciate everybody tuning in. We just have a mere 40,000 people watching us right now. No big deal.
Wild.
Which, again, we appreciate. And be sure to subscribe and like the video. But also, like, we're reacting this in real time. We'll see how a lot of it plays out. And, because I had a friend of mine just text me that he was like, hey, is there has the board of trustees officially approved it yet? It's like, I don't know. I assume that it's probably going to get to that point. And I'm not going to out anybody, guys. I just want to continue to reiterate the type of reaction I'm getting. I got a message from an extremely well-known politician here in the state of Arkansas that just told me, this is bad. This is a disaster. Things need to change and change quickly. Like a well-known politician in this state. It's like, why are you?
Shout out to him.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to out them because they may lose some votes for their next election that's coming up. But it's like, again, we are reacting in real time. This is the real time reaction, and we're not gaslighting. We're not doing this for the sake of like, we can't wait to get everybody fired up. Nope. This is the real raw reaction from all of you Razorback fans. And this is it. Like, we're not running from it, but we're also not going to try to sit here and be like, no, I think it's a good hire. I think all y'all are crazy.
The people are speaking loud and clear.
Yeah. Before we get into the chat, which, by the way, we do have a lot of great chats to get to.
Yes.
But before we get into the chat, I do just want to point out that there are a lot of people that have been, the whole time this has been going on, this whole coaching search, have been trying to lie to you guys and tell you they know what's about to happen. They know what's going on. A lot of those same people are now scrambling to pretend that they saw this Ryan Silverfield coming. Brett McMurphy, whenever you have one of the most prestigious reporters in the country also doing it, like Brett McMurphy, it's hard not to do it. But I hope you guys, the Hog fans, can appreciate three guys just straight up being like, this is stunning and this is stunningly bad and this is how we feel. Like, I'm not going to sit here and BS you. I'm not going to dress it up. I'm not going to be like, no, actually, I had always kind of known that Silverfield was the most ideal. He was the first guy Hunter interviewed and all that. I hope y'all can appreciate, just like you said, a raw reaction.
Yeah. And real quick, guys, sorry, I know this is Arkansas stuff, but this Lane Kiffin stuff is insane. It's getting more insane on 3, and everybody's reporting that Lane Kiffin has lined up most of his offensive staff to join him at LSU. He's told them that if they're not on the plane to Baton Rouge today, they will not have a spot on the staff. And the Tigers have a press conference going on scheduled for it's chaos over there. At least they won, though. At least Ole Miss was winning, But anyways, that's just more chaos to follow along with. But maybe that's why the news came out. The news dump. They're like, Lane Kiffin stuff's about to be crazy. Let's just drop this Ryan Silverfield news real quick. Maybe that's what's happening.
Hey, can I read you guys something from Biddy real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
That he
just he's apologizing for outright lying about this too.
He just put it out. The first part of it is sad, but it tells you about where we're at. He says, sorry for the delay in commenting. I was getting prepared to go on CBS Sports to talk Ryan Silverfield in Arkansas, but they decided Florida and Auburn hires were way more interesting and decided last minute not to have me on. I can't say I blame them. I'd bump me too. I'm going to read the rest of it here because, Trey's, listen, everybody knows Trey Biddy, man, but that right there in a nutshell tells you how this day is going for Arkansas football. He says, this is nothing against Ryan Silverfield. He wants the Arkansas head coaching job. Glad someone does, but it just shows how disconnected Arkansas is with their own fan base. There's literally not one single Hog fan I have seen who's expressed excitement on a day everyone was looking forward to since this started. I see angry, apathetic, sad disbelief and laughter as a means of coping, but should it be a surprise, as I've said many times, as you all good and well know, Arkansas has the worst football program in the SEC, so these are the kinds of decisions you get. Arkansas needed to make a hire fans could rally behind, a hire that could lead to a groundswell of support, and that is just not what anybody had in mind. So it's not like we're on an island here with the way that we're reacting to this. Everybody sees it. That's where we're at. But yes, when we look at all, the Brett McMurphy poll where 3% of people are showing love to Arkansas for making this move, getting bumped off your spot because the other hires are just more noteworthy and more to talk about. All of that goes to show you exactly what we've been saying all along, which is that we can have these grand visions of what we want Arkansas football to be, but the reality is they aren't there yet. And this is not something that you can just flip it overnight without a crazy amount of money, which they also don't have. Somebody's going to have to come here, get this thing on stable footing, and then pass it off to the next guy. And that's what you thought Sam Pittman could do. And we go back to the timing all the time, but coaches are hired to get fired. Like, unless somebody leaves and takes another job, it's going to become a shit show before you get rid of them. And you wind up in situations like this when you're trying to make a hire. And so I feel stupid for ever even entertaining the thought of, oh, maybe they can just, get all these funds here and go get a James Franklin or whatever. When the reality of the situation is maybe not this particular hire, but this part of the totem pole is where you're going to be fishing from.
Yep.
I mean, Trey said it. Arkansas is the worst program in the SEC in football. Like, that is just a fact now. And will they always be? Probably not. Have they always been? Certainly not. Like, we know there was a time period where Arkansas was not. In fact, there was a time period where you could argue Arkansas might be on track to be one of the better ones. But as of right now, like, we are the worst program in the SEC, and we just have to accept that. And I'm sorry that Trey didn't get to do his spot on CBS Sports. I wonder if they scanned the message board and realized that, like, less than 48 hours ago, he confirmed that Alex Golesh had agreed to become the next head coach at Arkansas. And maybe that's why they didn't bring him on to talk about Ryan Silverfield.
Yeah, well, I can just tell you,
one of these people would just straight up have some accountability and be like, hey, sorry I outright lied to the fan base.
Well, see,
at some point, I wish somebody would grow some freaking hair on their chest and be like, hey, I lied. I'm just an outright liar, and I lied to you, the fan base.
Well, I want to I think it's always a great lesson for everybody involved in fans. Like, this is why we try to do our best. Like, no one's perfect, but we try to do our best and trying to take everything as like, okay, but is this real or not? And I think that the whole report about Alex Golesh, I think I'm trying to pat ourselves on the back, but I'm like, I think that's why we handled it the way we handled it, because we know that these things, man, like what was our whole rule in all this, guys, when we were officially going to go live? What would we establish? It's like, when the national reports start coming out about the next head coach. And that's why when the report came out about Alex Golesh from the sales guy at the Buzz, it's like, we wanted to wait, because it's like, they need more than this. And this, because we wanted to avoid this like kind of disaster feeling. And man, I share, I'm not going to share them on the air, but some of the conspiracy theories I shared with you guys in the text group, I'm like, hey, maybe some of those were right. Maybe this was all part of a plot and a ploy behind the scenes to try to make things worse because Bobby Petrino didn't get the job. Maybe so, but
it certainly worked, because the fan base is very livid. And you know, to your point, John, about the national reports, I get it, dude. Like, I mean, frankly, like, Brandon Marcel is a guy that we respect a lot. We have a lot, you know, we usually trust him. He's usually on that list of like guys that when he reports something, we're like, oh shit, like that's real stuff. Even he was kind of off on this, because a week ago he was like, hey, 48 hours, you're gonna have some clarity on this whole thing. So I get it as a fan if you're like not quite sold when a national guy reports something, but it's like, there's a reason why we talk about it on the show. And when we talk about it, we don't say, hey, Pete Thamel said it, so it's a fact. But like, if Pete Thamel, Pete Nakos, Marcelo, McMurphy, they're all saying the same thing, and it was the same list of 4 guys, we're inclined to kind of believe that might be a real thing. And there was a lot of pushback on us of like, why are y'all believing this? Why are y'all telling us that? Why are you telling us we can't get Matt Campbell? Why are you telling us we can't get James Franklin? And it's like, I don't know. It just is frustrating to me. And like, I'm frustrated by the whole thing, but it does suck that once the situation happens, like if you are going to live on this island of like, no, Arkansas is getting Matt Campbell, they're getting Alex Golesh, they're getting whatever. Once it doesn't happen, isn't that kind of the time where you have to put your hand up and apologize? No? And has anyone done that yet?
Not that I've seen, at least. But then again, it's like,
I don't know, and I don't care. And like, I'm not going to take a victory lap for not outright dismissing every national reporter's claims of that 4-man list. I think we got bigger fish to fry here. But I get it. I understand the frustration with that. A lot of people feel lied to. Maybe the reaction to this would be a little bit different if that wasn't the case. But here we are. Seems like nobody really had this one figured out. So
okay, we will get into the chat. My last thing, just like, man, like 10 weeks of this for this. I mean, 10 weeks. You know, I felt like it was like and not to make a reference to Game of Thrones again, but it felt like it was like waiting for the final 2 or 3 years it took to film the final season of Game of Thrones, and then it ended up being not so good. It's like you just had so much anticipation and buildup, and it just wasn't there. So, but I will say there is some people are saying the press conference is going to be happening on Thursday, is an expected press conference now. So maybe that's going to give them some time to kind of think back. Which guys, what do you guys remember when how long was it between the announcement of Cal getting hired and then the press conference? Was it like 2-3 days, something like that?
Well, but remember it was out, and then it was a couple days, and he sent the video resigning from Kentucky, and then it was the next day that the hire was official, and then he was on a plane, and it happened later that day. So it's
right.
It's kind of hard to say. There were like a few days in between.
Yeah, I thought
about it, and
for some reason I thought the press conference was on a Wednesday night. I don't know if that was right or not, or anything. Okay, and I didn't know if it was like the few days after, because that was Sunday when we first started live streaming. I don't know. The point is,
right. Well, I mean, the timeline was a little bit weird because he had the weird grainy footage and all that. But yeah, that is right.
All right, so let's get into the chat, folks. We get go ahead. Sorry, Curtis, you guys.
What's Silverfield's deal? Is he an offensive guy? Is he a defensive guy?
O-line coach, dead ass. Like
O-line?
Dead serious was an O-line coach before he was a head coach.
Yeah, he did coach tight ends at Hampton Sydney High School, and he was a quarterback coach at Jacksonville for 1 year. The Dolphins, not the Jaguars, the Jacksonville Dolphins. It's just what you know. But yeah, he's been mainly offensive line coach and quality control, I guess. So yeah. Anyways, all right. Chat.
Keep Bobby.
Yeah, listen, the Facebook crowd may have had a point. Just saying.
It sucks when the Facebook crowd is right, man.
Yeah. And also too, I'm getting so many like texts from media guys like at SEC Media Days and stuff. They're all like, dude, I'm so sorry. I feel bad for you. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. We're going to try to get your chats. Super chats get read first. We have so many of them. So much appreciated, everybody. We'll try to do our best to get to as much as we can. Start out with Jason coming in hot. Shiano time. Name the time and I'll be there. Just talking about the protest and everything. So
noon, apparently.
Noon at the Jones Center. Which I'm
kind of
like a track guy going in there to get a meal and he's going to be getting yelled at. I'm low key thinking, guys, should I like just, I'm really over here. Should I just go over there, kind of just check it out? Like not be a part of the protest necessarily, but just kind of see if it's like legit or not. Like maybe
there's tens of people or if it's.
Yeah. Like maybe park my car close, but not get out yet and just kind of scope it out. And then if it's like ridiculously large and go out there with my camera and be like, hey, this is what people are feeling. I don't know.
Have you had anybody hit you up yet and just be like, hey, you feel like this is an overreaction? I haven't.
Nope.
Not a single thing has come through my phone of anyone being like, hey, like everybody needs to relax over there in Fayetteville, or why is everybody so up in arms? Like I don't have any of that.
Yeah. Nope. Not a thing.
And I would appreciate it, frankly.
Yes.
Like I would hear it out, you know?
Yeah. Hickory Hog member for 4 months says first report. I did not report it, so we're not going to start that. I'll get behind Silverfield eventually, but I hope Yurchek is shown the door immediately. He has to go. What a loser! Which I mean,
credit to John, by the way, for not doing that. Like there are a lot of people in John's shoes who would be doing that. Of like, hey, I told you guys. I told you guys several times. Like John had a gut feeling. He had people he talked to. Even he didn't go crazy on it. You know what I mean? Like he, you know. If I were John, I probably would be. I'd be like, you know what? Screw you guys. I told y'all Ryan Silverfield.
Razorback says, I'm officially done. Need to organize a protest. Well, again, apparently Jones Center, noon. That's what people are saying. Can't wait. It's going to be cold out there, too, so bring a jacket. High of 35 today in Phil, so be sure you dress warm for the protest that's going to be happening. Hog Milani says, everything is terrible other than inside Arkansas. That's true.
Thanks.
That's true. We're the only ones.
We appreciate that.
Yes, we are. We're the phoenix that has risen from the ashes of this nonsense that's been going on.
Open invite to Ryan Silverfield to join the program between now and Thursday, and just hop on here and let's give you the floor, man.
Would love to have him. Would love to.
We'll not give him access to the comments, and he can just
Listen,
say his piece.
I truly, I mean this. Like, if that was ever a thing, like I would love to have him on and love to talk more with him and love to give him the opportunity and the chance and everything, 100%. But you know, it's just one of those deals to where we're not going to be like some other people out there, just going to be like, this is an incredible hire. This is, the spin zone's going to be a lot for some. So just saying. Butcher Boy, appreciate the super chat. Says Hunter has to go. What can we do to get rid of him? He's only focused on the financials in front of him instead of winning to create more revenue.
So we've said this a lot. We've been saying this for several months that like winning football games is not even close to number one on the priority of the University of Arkansas's athletic department. And it hasn't been for a long time. And like, I get it. Like they do want to win. I'm not saying they don't want to win or they're trying to lose, but it's like they have a lot of things that they have to get done. There are a lot of things that are on Hunter Yurachek's plate in terms of job responsibility. I do not think having the best possible football program is necessarily near the top of his list or even really close to it. And I hope people understand that.
Yeah. Super chat from STL says 12 o'clock protest at the Jones Center. Again, Jones Academic Center. Y'all got to be clear, because anybody in Northwest Arkansas, they hear the Jones Center, they don't think of the Academic Center built by Jerry Jones. They think of the place where you ice skate. Not that one.
If that's a thing and folks are going to go down there, okay, cool, but just, be smart.
Yes.
Down there, you know what I mean? Like if you want to have some chance and everything like that, okay, but don't let it devolve into something silly over there.
The joke of everyone throwing around of like, oh, we're going to January 6th, the whole thing. Don't do
let's not do that.
January 6th. Don't go running into the academic center trying to steal podiums and stuff. Don't do that, idiots. Just, again, it's your right to do it. Peaceful protests, have at it. But yes, like Kurt said, be smart. Be smart about it. Let's see, shout out to Ellie Cox. She's been a member for a month. She says facepalm. Yeah.
The first lady
shout
of
out to Ellie. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to think of the title here. I was like, because I don't know
what of intern Cameron.
She's the first lady of What was Cam's things? Is the term for Cam's
Camalytics.
Camalytics. She's the first lady of Camalytics.
There we go. There we go. Hog J says Memphis will end up with a better coach. I mean, guess we'll see.
To be fair, Memphis has had some damn good coaches.
What if they hire Womack or something?
That would suck because he would 1,000% go like 9-3 next year.
That or they hire Bobby Petrino.
Hey, are y'all happy now that that Memphis game has been moved? That was on the schedule next year. I am,
dude.
I am. I don't want anything to do with that next year.
Could you
when they
imagine
get moved to like 2030 or something?
Right. Yeah. I think something like that. Could you imagine if they played Memphis next year in Fayetteville and like Memphis beat them?
No.
Like, I'm with you, dude. I didn't think about that, but I'm glad too. Shout out to Exclusive Cards. Appreciate the super chat. It goes, Hunter Yurchek is such an incompetent AD. If he gave Shap that input on Golish to keep his people off his game, he's even dumber than I thought. You didn't have to keep others off of a coach no one wants. Well,
I don't think Hunter Yurchek gave Trey Shap that information.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think that. And by the way, Golish last night declined. He said that was not something that he put out there. I'm inclined to not believe him, frankly. Like I don't think necessarily that Golish put it out there. I think it really was just like a heat check from Trey Shap. But I definitely don't think this was like from the university that was a message sent down. I think if somebody put it out there, it would probably have come from Golish's side to try and get the bidding started.
Yeah. I'll bring up that message. I got an interesting text. I'll bring it up here in a bit. Let's see. Also, Shargasaw says everyone who can needs to be at the protest. Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah, I love how people are giving us money to organize a protest that we won't even be a part of. It's great.
I'm not even in Fayetteville.
Let's play this game real quick.
Yeah. Let's
say Arkansas fans go down there and protest, and the powers to be see that, and they're like, okay, we made a mistake here. We completely misread the pulse of the fan base for like the 5,000th time. Let's try and get this right. Well, what do we think is going to happen then? Like if it opens back up, what are you going to do then? Probably try to go get Kane Womack. You know what I mean? Like it's not like all of a sudden that the millions and millions of dollars are going to be there, and you're going to be able to go pluck Lincoln Riley or something. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well. To answer your question, Curtis, like if what you said, like, hey, it plays out and then they do make some changes. Honestly, the thing because there'll be coaches that suddenly are like, well, I'm not going into that bleep show. Like, I'm not trying to try to deal with that.
It might have just gotten more difficult.
Yeah. But you know what? It wouldn't be difficult for Bobby Petrino. He'd be like, bring on that chaos. I'm full. Yeah. Just I'll do it. I'll do it. I think that was what would happen. Filthy Tom says this is worthy of a riot. Don't do that. No riots.
Not riot.
No
Yeah, we don't need riot.
Yeah.
Be careful with the wording.
Yes. Yeah.
Filthy Tom, are you going to put your plastic hog hat on and go run 2 miles after today's news? That's what I want to know.
Oh man. Let's see. Heartbroken Holler. Appreciate Super Chat says, I'm not surprised that we got outbid for Golish. I'm floored that Hunter Yurchek went with Silverfield over Womack. I pray I'm wrong, but I believe this will be an unmitigated disaster. I'm sick. Cal, save me.
I'm with you on the not being surprised about the Golish situation and also being floored that it wound up at Silverfield instead of elsewhere.
Yeah, Heartbroken Hog is one of our more sound and reasonable chatters, I would say. I feel like that's a fair take.
Yeah, I think so. Exclusive Cards also again says, what happened with Womack? Is this Hunter Yurchek's parting gift to us?
The world may never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's another thing too, is because I saw some people were saying like, oh, they're going to make this hire and then Yurchek's going to get fired or whatever. And I'm like, why would you want that? That would be the stupidest thing in the world. Hey, we're going to let you hire the coach and then you're gone. What? That's stupid. Like, no, that doesn't need to happen at all. Chef Boyer Lee, appreciate it for being a member for 6 months. It was embarrassing. I had a gut feeling all along they were just dragging this out to get the coach that nobody else wanted, which it's the kind of that way, man.
Let me ask you real quick, because I just now realized that Auburn has already like put out the announcement of like, hey, new era in the Plains. Golish is like so the pen has already been put to paper and all that, and it seems like that's happened other places too. When do you think? I mean, I know we're talking about the press conference and anything, but like, is it interesting that Arkansas hasn't, officially because I mean, it isn't official until it's official, and I don't think it's going to not become official. Like I very much believe Ryan Silverfield's the coach, but it's like, I wonder what it is they are going to wait on. Like will it be just like Monday at noon? They'll just be like, hey, here it is. Maybe it's today at noon.
I mean, just consider the people who would be putting out those emails and I'm not surprised that nothing's happened yet. I mean, I wonder when it's going to be for sure.
Yeah. The Pittman one
Everybody
was
else seems
noon.
to be on top of it where it comes out pretty quick, but
Yeah.
the U of A being slow-footed on this is entirely unsurprising to me.
And to be fair, the Pittman one came out on a Sunday at noon. So it wouldn't be that crazy if it was Sunday at noon, right as everyone's getting to rally at the Jones Center.
Yeah. Yeah. Just I love this. Like I'm actually like, we'll see how this rest of the stream goes, but I may just mosey out there just to see.
I am here for the comments when Hunter Yurchek puts out the red smoke thing.
Dude, we have to do a whole bit on Inside Arkansas Live tomorrow, just reading the comments.
Hey, they lit up that stadium last week.
They did.
Yep. Now they're going to, whatever time they can release the official statement, it'll probably be like tonight at like 11 p.m. Like, just something like that. Let's see. Again, appreciate all the chats. Nick literally called this ridiculous. Hunter Yurchek has to go if Mullen got picked up by nobody and we can't poach him from UNLV. What the hell does that say about the state of this program?
That's a great question. That is actually a great question. We were very dismissive of Dan Mullen because off the bat, we talked about him and we entertained it. We were like, hey, yeah, that actually might make sense. And then Dan Mullen straight up was like, there's no way in hell I'll be the Razorback head coach. And
we hired Gus Malzahn, he said.
Right. Yeah. And so we just took him at his word. And so we kind of knew he wasn't going to be the head coach, but that is a good question of if you couldn't poach him from UNLV, why not? And if the call wasn't made, why not?
Yeah. And also too, by the way, just real quick, when you guys know one of my big sauces that I have, one of the boosters basically kind of said the same thing. And he texted me, he's just like, I might as well I'd rather had Gus Malzahn over Silverfield. Like that's what people are saying. Like when you hire a coach and you start going through, I'd rather have had this option that could have easily happened than these other options. Again, kind of goes into the madness that is right now. Just like Exclusive Cards comes in, says, should have kept BP instead of this BS. I mean, I get if you feel that way. I really do. Appreciate Woo Pig Nation saying, at this point, I'm not confident the university can make a good hire at AD either. Well,
that's probably fair.
Yeah. Board trustees be the ones.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, Go Tay Go. Hunter Yurchek, we've got our man. Meanwhile, Arkansas fans, middle finger emoji.
I am very curious to hear from all the they got their guy folks.
I'm on board with that with you.
We've been hearing that for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I want to be told who you thought it was legitimately.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I've already gotten. I don't know if you guys have, but I've gotten texts from some people. Be like, see, the person that I asked you about that one time is like, I was referring to him. I'm like,
sure,
stop.
Yeah,
stop it.
Nailed it.
Anybody that takes a victory lap on this and says, I knew this, you're lying. You are a liar. Like it's just not true. It's just not
John,
true.
You're the only person in Arkansas who would be even semi-qualified to do that. And even you, it would be kind of a stretch to do it.
Yeah,
so it's like if anyone else does it, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Now, listen, if I would have put out a tweet like 3 weeks ago that he was going to be that coach, I'd be sweating bullets. And if I put it out 3 weeks ago that he was going to become a coach, and now I'd be doing victory laps nonstop. But I don't want to do victory laps over crap. I don't want to do victory laps over things that are bad. Like I want to do victory laps on good things. So it's like this is not something I take like that anybody should take pride in. Like, ha! Told y'all it was going to be this coach that you all didn't want. Like, no victory laps.
Is Auburn keeping Durkin? Like as DC with Polish? I wonder.
Like, they
loved him over there.
Me.
We all thought last night, we were like, oh, they're having a team meeting at 10 a.m., like 12 hours after the Iron Bowl. They're just going to promote Durkin. And then they didn't. Because if they pull Golish and keep Durkin, that's problematic.
Well, what was the one thing that we always said about Golish? We were like, well, he's going to have to hire a great DC.
Yeah.
Durkin would qualify as a great DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he would. He would. Let's see. Tuna's House says, what number do we call to express concerns as fans? Look it up on Google. I don't know specifically. I'm sure just call the athletic department or the board of trustees and email them. That'd be the best bet if you're just because odds are no one's going to answer or respond. But if you want to feel better about it, I would just probably suggest that. But we're not going to be out here doxing emails and just be like, hey, find these people and send them mean things. Hickory Hawk says, fire them all. The AD, the board of trustees, the president of U of A, the damn governor, drain the swamp. Oh. All right. Well, going to have to go through an overhaul of having new elections put into place. But again, I understand. Let's see. Something says, my confidence in NIL will get fixed. 0. My confidence in stadium name rights get fixed. Also 0. The in-game experience, 0. Poverty program.
At least not anytime soon, we should say.
I would like to think eventually they'll get the stadium naming rights done, but I mean, it's been a couple years now, right? It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's like not even just a couple years, like more than that, because you knew when it was ending. So you should have had it ready to go by the time it ended.
How annoying is it going to be when they hire a new AD and like a month later they have the stadium naming rights done?
Pretty annoying.
That would be very
yeah.
annoying.
It's going to be pretty annoying. I'll be happy that it's finally done. I hope it's something cool. But yeah, and then as far as the NIL, okay, sure, we'll see. But I as long as Hunter Yurchek's around, I just don't know how seriously they're going to take what we are thinking of as NIL seriously.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be a thing. I know they are working on the actual NIL that will go through the clearinghouse and get approved, and the businesses and the deals. And hey, that's all good. That's all important. You need all those things. But until he decides, hey, we do actually have to live in this third lane, I mean, you're limited as a program. It's just, I mean, it is what it is.
Well, also to the point of I guess where was it at? Whose chat was that? It was talking about the all the naming rights, in-game experience, all that stuff. Yeah. It's like, until that happens and until like you see something else that's put into it, I don't believe it. I don't believe it like from the money side of things. I just don't believe any of it. Like I don't trust or believe anybody's going to change anything in the University of Arkansas Athletic Department. I just don't.
Why they're not is because those are things that like we care about. And I think that's what we've gotten today is confirmation that like what we care about and what we think does not matter.
Yeah, does not matter
a lick.
Yeah. And we got to read the super chats, but you talk about Razorback says Trey Schapp needs to be held accountable.
I would just my question about that would be what does accountability look like? You know what I mean? Because like he's not a beat writer. You know what I mean? Like he's not a columnist. He's not like what would accountability be? I guess is my question there.
So I think because I think that's a fair question, especially for Shat, because it's like you said, it's not like there's a daily show where he can come on and say whatever. My whole thing is like if you're going to be talking about Arkansas sports related things, and you're going to make you're going to consistently be putting things out there, tweeting, going on the radio, doing whatever it is. It's hard to do that without acknowledging, hey, the last time I spoke to you guys, I told a very big lie. And so like I think if he's going to say anything moving forward, you kind of have to have the acknowledgement of what happened. And that's where, that's what my point was with Biddy, and by the way, I love Trey Biddy. I really do. Like I think he's a good dude, and I think he does a good job. And it's not a big deal if like, hey, you put something out there, you heard something, it wound up being untrue. That in and of itself, not a big deal at all. But it's hard to continue to put out stuff and be like, continue to comment on this coaching search and continue to be out here publicly talking about the coaching search and acknowledging Ryan Silverfield being hired without acknowledging, hey, everything I've told you leading up to this point was just not true. Like, I don't know how you can continue to comment without acknowledging what just happened, because again, and not to draw back to us, but it's like, that's what we do, like we had a show 3 days ago talking about Alex Golesh, and we were like, hey, is this going to happen? Is it not? Now here we are today, and we're like, hey, crap, this is bad because we thought they were getting Alex Golesh, and we acknowledge it, and we talk about it, and we move forward. I don't see anyone else doing that. Like, nobody has acknowledged and been like, hey, dang, I guess I was just wrong this whole time.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll find out here soon, but I think
I haven't been looking and seeing what everybody's saying about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's being said on message boards and stuff like that. And maybe they believed it up until it wasn't a thing. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what the actual reaction is there.
Yeah. I just think it's a good lesson for everybody. Not just saying like, not us, but like, so everybody, it's like, this is why these things have to be, you got to walk on eggshells with a lot of this stuff and be very careful and cautious about stuff and reports and everything. Like, you just got to be careful about it. There's a reason why there's always been a way of doing it. And, you want to avoid some craziness that's going on.
Real quick, I just want to address, because I see like multiple people in the chat accusing me of blaming Trey. That's not what's happening at all. Like, I do not think that Schapp's report or Biddy, anything that they said, had any bearing on what Arkansas ended up having to do. Not my point at all. I'm literally just saying like, hey, since we all talk about this stuff for a living, I feel like we need to talk about it and tell the story truthfully of what's actually happening and what was said, what was right, what was wrong, and like who, like, you know, again, because if I say something wrong, I'll gladly tell you, hey, I got that one wrong. Hey, I thought they were going to lose the game. They didn't lose the game. Sorry, you know, like we do that. I would like for other people to also do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they caused Arkansas to not get the coach they wanted. Not at all.
Sure. I do hope that whatever the actual truth is, you know, in terms of how all this unfolded and we got to this point, comes out. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. At this point, after everything that happened in the last 2 months, who would be able to put something out there saying, hey, this is how this all played out, that we would actually believe? You know what I mean? Because it's just been so crazy. I wouldn't even believe Hunter Yurachek if he stood up there and told us step by step and even took some accountability for it. So
yeah,
crazy stuff here.
Yep.
Y'all seen this Ole Miss nonsense that Kiffin's taking Charlie Weiss Jr., but Pete Golding's sticking around, and it's just one thing after another.
Yeah, I did see that. By the way, also for, again, if you wanted to, because I know we got so many chats, we're going to get to them, but Ralph Russo, for what it's worth, writes for The Athletic. He says, think all the SEC teams did well with their American hires, especially Arkansas. Silverfield gets overlooked, but was 5-0 against Golish and Eric Morris. NFL experience, longer track record of success than other guys in the mix here, and never had a losing season. So, again, if you're wanting some sort of like national guy or whatever to give you a point, there's one. I'm not saying, not endorsing it, just throwing it out there. All right. Yeah. We got to keep moving because there's so many of these. We really appreciate it. Josh says, excellent point, guys. I'm, of course, extremely disappointed. Ryan couldn't win his own conference. Now he's going to get zero NIL support and win the SEC, question mark. I mean, that's, yeah, again, what it comes down to.
You have the right point of view, I would say.
I am not telling anyone to accept mediocrity. All I'm saying is that mediocrity has been accepted for you.
Mm-hmm. It's a great way to put it.
A great sentence there.
Yep. Go says, someone called JG Wentworth. We need cash now for Hunter Yurachek's buyout. OMG. Yeah, I don't know how much that would look like, but yeah, you can probably give him a call though. Hog J says Womack, Klein, and even Durkin would have been better hires. Man,
I would agree with the first two for sure. Durkin has his own little can of worms. Some other stuff. If you want to just Google DJ Durkin, you can find that out. But Womack, Klein, who, by the way, is like super unproven, and he's probably not going to get a head coaching job for the next 2 or 3 years. But like even him, we could have done a bit where we were like, oh, crap, young guy, got a good offense, going to be in the playoff this year. Like that would have been easier to like talk yourself into.
Yes, for sure. Let's see. Nick says the athletic department doesn't care. Neither do I. The only reason he didn't bleep on the bed was on Cal is because John Tyson handled him a silver platter. No way Hunter Yurachek makes that call without John Tyson greasing the wheels. Well, I mean, yeah, I think we all know. If John Tyson's not here at Arkansas, Calipari's not the head coach at Arkansas.
And that's a big reason why we pump the brakes on using the Calipari hire to set your barometer for what this football hire was going to be. Because of that factor, because the basketball program was a nationally respected and relevant program at the time of the hire, where Arkansas football is the laughing stock of the SEC. Like there were a lot of reasons to look at it and understand that setting the bar for the football hire based on the last basketball hire was setting you up to be disappointed. But I didn't think it would wind up like this. So,
yeah. And also too, like real randomly, but you know, if the press conference is on Thursday, smart, because you didn't want to do it on Tuesday, and then if you rolled out Ryan Silverfield for that Louisville basketball game and they decided to do it during a timeout when Louisville just went on a 10-0 run, there may be some things getting said and people upset. So
we need a happy. If Arkansas doesn't beat Louisville, we might have to do a protest at Bud Walton. Pressure's on, Cal. You and the boys got to get it done, man.
Would they be 5-3? Would that sound right?
They would be 5-3. Yeah.
5-3, dude. That's like a Ryan Silverfield Memphis record.
We just can't have it.
Yeah. We'll have to move pretty quickly through some of these super chats. There's so many better options, hires they could have made. I just can't wait to see what kind of ridiculous contract and buyout there is. Well,
I'm with you guys in terms of let's see what this looks like.
How low is that contract going to really be?
Dude, I'm banking. I bet you it's $5-6 million.
If it is, dude, that right there is that is an admission of guilt, frankly.
What if they had to pay Silverfield more than Auburn had to play Golish to get him to take the job?
Yeah, so it's honestly going to be bad no matter what. Because like if it comes out, it's like, yeah, they paid Ryan Silverfield $8 million. We'd be like, whoa, you overpaid and got a bad guy. And then if they paid him $5 or $6 million, it'd be like, well, clearly he's not a good coach because you're paying him the lowest salary in the SEC. Right. It's honestly going to be a tough look no matter what.
Yeah. Memphis says fire Hunter chance at every sporting event till it happens. It worked for Dallas to get Nico fired. Well,
and then as soon as he got fired, he showed up at Bud Walton Arena. So
there you go.
To hang out with Hunter Yurachek.
Yeah, that is when things are already bad, but if something like that actually like truly broke out, like at the game against Louisville, like fire Hunter and he was like there, that would be another level of bad look that even Jeff Long never went through. Guys, Jeff Long, it was never this bad. It was never this bad with Jeff Long. And that's saying something because it felt like it was bad. Sheesh. Josh says also, this isn't spoiled fan anger. It's lost all confidence in AD anger.
Sure.
Which, yeah. Seems like most people are directing their frustrations to the right people. Like I don't see anybody just being like Silverfield is this, and it's like it's mainly about Yurachek and the board trustees and everybody, which is good to see.
For sure. I mean, it's the same thing. Like we're all saying with Silverfield, we're going to give him a chance, and we will give him a chance. Yeah. Like, I mean, he has done nothing so far as the Arkansas head coach, and so once he starts doing things, we will evaluate it, and we will gladly, if it goes well, we'll evaluate it well. If it goes poorly, we'll talk about it that way. But I think there were a lot of people who already didn't have trust in Hunter Yurachek, but we're like, hey, we'll just see how this coaching search plays out. I would say the three of us kind of fit that criteria of like, we don't love Hunter Yurachek. We don't think he's doing a great job, but it's like, he's doing this coaching search. We'll just see how it plays out. And we've said all along, if he comes out with a rabbit out of the hat, we would give him his props. We even said if they hire Golish, we would stop talking crazy about Hunter Yurachek for a couple of weeks. I don't know, man. Like it is what it is. Now that we found out what we have, it's completely fair for everyone to feel that way.
Yep. Let's see. Real John Beckman. Super Chat says, for any Hog fan wanting to jump from a sinking ship, there's a program Northeast Arkansas with a winning culture and coach.
And we whipped your ass literally like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't even begin to describe what it must feel like to see this mess that is Arkansas right now and know that they beat you by like 40.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a tough look. Yeah, and what was your Super Bowl, as they say? Exclusive Carts appreciate says, I think Hunter Yurachek showed the playoff was more important to him than Arkansas win this hire.
Is he taking that seriously?
Yeah, I'm about to say he's doing 6-7 jokes on the thing. So
he doesn't even know the names of the people he's talking to.
Yeah,
like I
don't know what does he take seriously? I don't know, other than just seems like upsetting fans from everybody, from every walk of life. Chris says, I don't understand. The hottest coaches are out there were North Texas, USF, Tulane, and Memphis. We got one of them and we don't want them. And we don't want him. What's wrong with this? Well, Chris, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think it's just more of, okay, the four coaches out there, you got the fourth one. Like, that's the thing.
Also,
like
those weren't the hottest coaches out there.
No,
those were the four group of five guys that were reported that Arkansas was looking at. That was not hey, here are the four best guys in the country. If it were the four hottest guys out there, it would be like Lane Kiffin, Eli Drinkwitz, or like Matt Campbell or Kenny Dillingham, or, actually there's a lot of hot names out there, none of which include, Golish. I would say Golish and Morris, and Summerall would qualify as very hot group of five candidates. But even in that context, they were hot group of five candidates, which is why at Arkansas, we felt like that was maybe the best way possible. And to be fair, unanimously, when they released that list, I think we all felt, even with Womack, we were like, I think Silverfield's fourth on that list of four.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. Parker says John was right. No one wants to accept it whenever he said it. I didn't report it, but I just was talking about it. But
I was going to go back to that last one there and provide an update for that Brett McMurphy poll.
Yeah,
I think he deleted it.
He deleted it.
The last check that I had, it was over 15,000 votes, and it's like to the point of these four coaches or whatever. There were three. Then there was a massive gap, and then there was the fourth in terms of the process here. And like you mentioned, Silverfield wasn't a candidate for any of these other jobs. He was still at 3%, over 15,000 votes in. And the other three guys, Eric Morris and Summerall and Golish, were all between 37 and 27%. And Silverfield was at 3.
Hey,
so that's why people are upset.
Well,
and that's not a poll from Arkansas. That's the country.
Well, about to say, if you guys want an update on my little poll that has over 5,500 votes, it's gaining some ground though. Now it's only at 89.5% say no. So, there's some.
Well, because Razorback fans will talk themselves into anything.
Yes.
Yeah. That will happen here. There's
Yeah.
consternation and protests and everything now. The further removed people get away from it, and more people will talk themselves into it after they actually hear the new coach speak and hear what his plan is. And then the portal will open and they'll start getting some players, and then spring ball will happen. Like, it's little by little, people will get excited for this. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. Doesn't mean people are going to change their tune on Eurocheck, but that'll happen. Will it be unanimous? Will it be the type of, support that you would expect to see after something like this when you make a new hire? No, but eventually it'll get there. I will forever go back to the amount of irrational excitement there was for year 6 of Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
So you still love your Razorbacks at the end of the day, no matter how mad
you
Vic makes
should,
it.
by the way.
Yeah.
You
It's
should,
easy to look at it now, at the first day of the offseason and be like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not watching next year. When it comes around, yes, you will.
Yep.
So will I. We all will.
Yep. And again, I think there'll be people, not everybody, like you said, but a lot of people, even after the press conference, will be like, "Oh, I'm on board." Like there will be that.
I hope I am, because that good dude, if he has a dud of a presser,
yeah, dude, he better be
one of the things we were talking about. Like, why is, like, maybe, a guy like Golish is having a great year or whatever, but it's like, oh, he might be, less experienced or, hasn't beat him or whatever. What's the deal with Silverfield? We kept going back to, you don't really have that motion, like the aura just doesn't seem like it's there. And now he's in a position where he has to knock it out of the freaking park for his press conference. So I hope he's rehearsing in front of the mirror, man.
He needs to dip into the Dan Lanning stash before that press conference. Little upper,
Yeah. By the way, real quick, Evan from the Big Trail Nation, he just put out a tweet. Apparently he's there at the Jones Center thing, like waiting on the protest. No one showed up yet. So, we'll see. We'll see the big protest. Because I've been to a fair share of these protest things that's happened, and usually it doesn't ever happen the way that people think it's going to happen. So it's cold outside, man. It's just a little above freezing. So let's see. Chris says, I'm not trying to be rude. I just didn't understand it at all. That's fine. Hey, listen, you weren't being rude.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And we're all trying to understand, man.
We know and also not everyone has the time to devote 2 months of their lives 24/7, to this coaching search. So
sure.
Get
it. Yeah. Also too, I wish I knew his reference of, but everything was moving. Alan just says that was me. LOL. Well, okay. Sorry. I don't know what this was referenced to. So right. It's been crazy with the chats.
Oh, I think he was the Memphis fan that came in and was like, back in the day, and was like, this dude's about to get fired at Memphis.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, apologies.
Yeah, happy to see you, man. Thanks for the warning, frankly.
Hey, honestly. when we're talking about, talking heads or whoever taking accountability for things, yeah, you were right. So
100%.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, Chef Worley, appreciate Super J. Says should have got rid of Pittman after 23, even kept him after last year when there was no competition in the SEC. Then this season we fire him in September just to go 2-10 and get another O-line coach. Hard to get excited anymore.
Yeah,
I get it, man.
We've been saying this for a while, and it is going to remain true, and it'll just always be something we look back on, and we'll just always play the what if game of, man, what if they had gotten Cignetti in 2023? What if they had gotten Elko in 2023? Oh, what if they had? I guess the problem is if they had fired Sam Pittman last year, they probably would have hired Deion Sanders.
Yeah, seriously. Let's see. Nick also says, I have a friend who tells me all the time Arkansas should be in the Big 12 at this point. I'm not sure I can argue with him.
I've always hated that argument too. Like, I've always gotten annoyed when people say that. And I still am, but it is getting tougher and tougher. I mean, when your athletic department is telling you we don't want to spend SEC money, exactly. Is pretty much what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not willing to do what it takes to be competitive in a certain conference, then maybe you shouldn't be in it. And so I'm frustrated. But personally, I think figure it out. I don't think there's a better league out there in the country to be in. But if you're just resigning yourself to not being in a position to succeed, even at a relatively decent level, then what are we doing?
Yep, exactly right. BDJB says, on the plus side, I can save money I would have spent on my season tickets now. # see ya. There you go. Silver lining.
You want to.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that they're not renewing their season tickets and all that yada yada. Which, listen, winning cures all. Like if Ryan Silverfield goes 6-6 in his first year at Arkansas, the next year, the entire stadium will be sold out. Like truly, it won't take that much, but it is going to be interesting to just see what that looks like this summer. Because the U of A, if everyone is truthful in what they're saying, and they really are, I wonder if the U of A in like July is going to start being like, crap, like this really has backfired on us.
Yeah. Also, where was it at? The drunk. I assume this is Drunk Baz. He's like, how do we Shiano/Stoops this hire?
It's just a few minutes now. That protest should be getting underway.
Yeah.
So we'll get reports of it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly right.
The other thing about this is when we were thinking, okay, Eric Morris, what were we doing? We were like, oh, the mess maker, like he bring his quarterback. And then we were doing the Alex Golish. We were like, dude, Byron Brown, he could bring his quarterback. We ain't doing that for the Memphis QB. Nope. So, hey, this is KJ Jackson's world. Remember the question I asked you on the post game last night, Andrew, of like, who are the guys the new coach absolutely has to retain? And we did like Bradley Shaw and, some of the young offensive linemen and everything. And then we were like, well, somebody might want to bring their quarterback with them. KJ Jackson. No, he's like top priority at this point. I'm sure you'll go try to get someone in the portal or whatever, but I hope he's already been on the phone with KJ Jackson. That's all I'm saying.
Same, 100%, especially because we like KJ Jackson. I don't think Brandon Lewis has any eligibility left. I could be wrong on that. I don't think the quarterback that he has now, and he was, if y'all remember that game, he was the reason why Arkansas played a close game with Memphis.
Yes.
There were a lot of plays where dudes were running wide open, and he just whiffed on him. He just missed. Yep. Memphis could have been up. They could have beat Arkansas by double digits if they had a competent quarterback. And so, definitely don't have any interest in him, and I don't think he has eligibility left. I do hope KJ Jackson is the first guy that Ryan Silverfield calls.
For sure.
Yeah. It looks like Lewis is he's a senior. He's not going to be there. So I just want to confirm that there as well. So, oh boy, man, this has been some wild stuff. Appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us and trying to have some fun with it, trying to make sense out of it all. Cause it's chaotic right now, but it's just, we're going to see how it all plays out. We're all in this together. Jane Neighbors, always weird. Memphis is 7th in the AAC, by the way.
Yeah, did they go 4-4 in the league this year?
They did. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw somebody say they haven't won a game in the month of November.
I know they lost 3 straight. So
Memphis has the same record and conference record that Missouri has in the SEC.
Yep. That's
so and Missouri, obviously we would all love to be Missouri, but it's like in the context of their own conference, think about that for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It is true. I guess I didn't realize that was the case, but yeah. Beating Arkansas got him the job at Arkansas. Truly, that's what it was. Beating Arkansas got him the job at Arkansas. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. To turn
hire Hugh Freeze if that's what you wanted to do. But
yeah. Watch Memphis is hire Womack.
I know. I brought that up. That would be irritating.
Yeah. Sad for our guy Hayden. Says the light has gone out in my life. Teddy Roosevelt. Sorry, I get it. Razorback Fever says, my question is, there going to be resources for him to succeed? Yeah, that's what we talked about from the jump of like, none of this matters if he doesn't have, whoever the coach is, does not have the resources to succeed. So
the answer is no. We just got to be honest with ourselves here. Will it be improved from whatever they were working with, this year going in with Pittman? Probably, but is it going to be enough to make a difference? I just don't see how that's going to be a thing here.
Hopefully Silverfield kept all those contacts from FedEx and some of those guys
honestly,
through.
Or some of that's going to be on him too. You know what I mean? Of selling himself and his vision for the program to the people who could make this easier on him. So if he's able to do that, then he could help his own case. But going into it, I just don't know how we could believe that.
Yeah.
We will be told. Now, don't get me wrong. Thursday, we will be told that he's going to be put in a position to succeed and that all these things are in place and everything like that. I'm just telling you, if you learned anything at this point, don't believe everything that's said to you from folks over there. So I'm not going to jump on this stream after the press conference and be like, oh, they're saved. Oh yeah, this is great. Everything's so much better. Yeah, they're operating with a top 5. I said bullshit. No, I'm just not buying it. Sorry.
Yeah. No, the evidence is going to be there with transfer portal. That's where the evidence is going to be.
That's when we can tell. Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
So yeah, don't listen to stuff. Just wait for stuff. Jamel says, "Is this the most unpopular program hire ever?" I
At
think
least on this for a hire as big as this. I'm sure that, I mean, Jimmy Dykes women's basketball, that wasn't a super popular one. But yeah, in terms of a hire to this magnitude at Arkansas, I can't remember one being met with this much scrutiny. I mean, listen, I know I said it earlier, like when Sam Pittman hired, I'm sure there were tons of people who weren't thrilled about it, but there was at least like a congregation of Razorback fans who were like, this is a home run.
Yeah.
Well, you at least had something to cling on to. Which is, we know he'll recruit and he'll have a great offensive line. Now, none of those things wound up being true, but you at least had that going into it. I'm looking for that right now. You know what I mean? And I'm just having a hard time finding it.
By the way, I just wanted to bring this up real quick from Brandon Marcello. This was a few days ago. I didn't realize he tweeted this. Well, I guess several days ago, in like yesterday. It felt like it was several days ago. But he said, quote, "Several schools may be turning to options B, C, or D on the coaching carousel on Sunday." And I'm like, I guess we.
I wonder who he could have possibly been.
You ought to send that to him and be like, so
which one is Silverfield, B, C, or D?
yeah. Which one of those options were Arkansas? Bo says a dude is going to get booed out of Bud Walton Arena. I don't know if you're talking about Silverfield. Hopefully that's not the case.
Don't boo him. Yeah, don't boo
him.
him.
I hope he doesn't.
If it's Yurachek, if you're talking about Yurachek, then I understand that. But yeah, don't boo Silverfield.
Dude, if it's 71-63 Louisville at the under 8 timeout and they freaking bring him out there and he's like, what's going on?
With their awareness of in-game environment and moments and everything like that, that's probably exactly what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I really hope that people don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not Silverfield's fault. And if he's going to be your guy, and it seems like he is, what else can you do? You can either just not be a part of this anymore, or you can support him. But yeah, I hope that frustration is directed in the right place.
Yeah. Sharkensaw says Hunter Yurachek is an Ole Miss secret agent sent to destroy our program.
Yeah.
Deep. See, Steven says done with the football program until Hunter Yurachek is gone, or they can prove me wrong. So, which fair.
Yeah, fair.
It's fair. Dre says Geraldo Rivera had better reveal of the empty Capone vault. That's
dang.
Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty good. Hog J says they hired a guy that will be booed if we introduce him at the basketball game Wednesday. No, he wasn't. He shouldn't get booed. He should not get booed.
Okay.
What's up?
Kenny Dillingham has addressed the Arkansas job. He is quote tweeted on 3's report, and he says, "This is awesome. Worked his way up. Love to see it," referring to Ryan Silverfield. So we wanted someone to support Kenny Dillingham, who many people in the state told you was very seriously considering coming to Arkansas. He is happy that his former water boy is now the head coach.
There you go.
Good.
He big broed you again. Arkansas keeps getting big broed by everybody, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're the Bless Your Heart program now. Oh, bless your heart. By the way, we do have one single protester officially out there. One has officially made it. So his name's John. No relation, but he's just holding a sign that says "Fire Yurachek." So there is one. There's one.
So really, nobody showed up after the whole shebang about everybody being like, "Hey, let's show up."
Yeah, who would have guessed that organizing a protest in 35-degree weather in a 2-hour span wouldn't have just people, banging down the doors to get out there just yet? So, yeah, it's going to take a bit. Man, a lot of these super chats. We're going to have to move through these. Your exclusive card says, "I'm just pissed because now I wanted to give the guy a chance give a guy a chance. It's not his fault, but I don't want Hunter Yurachek also thinking he pulled off something great by cheering." So
this is a bit of mental gymnastics that a lot of Razorback fans are going to have to go through here.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't my first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice, but I support Ryan Silverfield. Like, I am rooting for him to do a great job here at Arkansas.
For sure.
But good Lord.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it's like I'm rooting for him, but good grief, dude. Like, come on, man.
It does suck. It sucks that we've been doing this all year. I mean, y'all think back to the Ole Miss game when Arkansas was 2-0, and we had fans that were like, I kind of want them to lose, so they fired Pittman, and we were like talking through that mental gymnastics, and we were adamant that, like, hey, you should cheer for them to beat Ole Miss or whatever. But it sucks that for 3 months, Arkansas fans have been asked to do all these mental gymnastics just because they want the best for their program. Like, that's the crime that Razorback fans committed, is wanting the best for their program. And it just sucks, man. And I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to tell you other than that I'm sorry and that we're here for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. Black Neighbors, I guess, has now made a return. Appreciate it. He says it was a historically difficult cycle with Florida, Auburn, LSU Open, plus Penn State and Oklahoma State. Yeah. True.
If only we had known that this might happen coming into the season. There was no inclination last offseason that there would be no competition, and we had no idea that there were like 7 SEC coaches on the hot seat entering the year, some of which didn't even get fired. We thought the Oklahoma job might come open.
Yeah. By the way, the Memphis athletic director, Ed Scott, has this statement to say. Matt Jones tweeted this out. He said, "We thank Coach Silverfield for his leadership over the past 6 seasons and wish him and the family the best of luck in the next chapter." So there we go. Probably not getting the same message from Scott Strickland or whoever at Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin. Not Scott Strickland. Who's Keith Carter? Sorry, Keith Carter. Dre, our guy Dre says, "Did we lose Golish because of the leak or because we got outbid?" I didn't see the reason yet. I don't think it's because of the leak.
No,
I mean, I don't think it's because of that. I think it's just he wasn't going to. I don't think he was going to come here anyways. Like, just this is what the vibe gives. But you call it outbid. You just outgunned, maybe be the better way. Where I don't think it was just about money. I think it was about everything. You just got outgunned in this whole thing.
What happened to there were people, and I don't know, I'm saying people. I don't know who these people were. Do y'all remember reading people on the Discord that were like, hey, Golish has already started telling his staff to start house hunting in Fayetteville. Like, where did people come up with that?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. So many people who were, my wife's sister is friends with Golish's wife, and I got this text message. I saw so much of that stuff. You know?
I saw a bunch. I mean, there was one guy that was like, he sent a video calling the hogs to my family, and like in the moment I wasn't like, oh, this is for sure, but like people were speaking so confidently that it made me think I was going crazy. Where I was like, damn, I guess this really is a done deal.
Yeah. We have now, sorry guys, just give an update. There's 15 people out at the protest. So starting to grow. Starting to grow.
Yeah,
let's see. Okay, we just may have to move through some of these super chats because there's so many of them. We really appreciate it though, folks.
Hey, when we got into John was like, "Oh yeah, we might do 8 hours worth of live streams today." And now he's like, "Shh."
Yeah, it's like because it's like no, I just feel bad because I know people probably like put super chats in there an hour and a half ago, and we're just now getting to them. So it's like, it's tough,
dude,
man. It's tough.
I mean, listen, as long as there are 2,000 people watching us, I mean, it's hard to call it a day and be like, all right, we're good.
No, it's 63,000. Andrew, don't you see a little number up there? It's 63,000 people watching us at once. Come on. Well,
I don't see the number because, as you know, I've had weird technical difficulties. I'm in here and I'm like a guest in the studio today. I was just going off the YouTube number.
Yeah, we would have gone live a little bit earlier, folks, but don't worry. Technology always strikes us in the best of ways.
You may notice I'm not speaking into a microphone.
Don't worry. I have a backup laptop that belongs to John Neighbors if you need it.
Well, I'm using Hillary's laptop, so it's like, it worked out.
We're just, we're putting stuff together with a stick of gum and staples. Yeah. We're making it work.
It was hilarious that we've gone through all this nonsense of, StreamYard, and we're testing out different, platforms and everything. And then no sooner than this happens, we hop on StreamYard and it's like, the hell is this? It's just down for maintenance or whatever. And good grief. We figured it out though.
Yeah. Well, it's what we do. Garrett, our guy Garrett says, coming on late, but could we not just taking a chance on Stein, Womack, or Schumann? I mean, what are we doing? Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Womack, if not Golish.
That's how I felt too. Chris says, just 12 hours ago, I would have never dreamed I would rather have Bobby than who we got. I know.
Same.
A lot of people.
Dude. Like, honestly.
Likewise.
What have we become? Who have y'all, what have y'all done to us out here? But it's true. It's true.
Dude, it's not a super chat, but who do you think will take the Ole Miss job? I saw somebody just put that in there. I don't know what they're going to do.
Maybe that's where Womack goes.
Maybe.
Bobby.
Or maybe I've seen some people say that they might just promote Golding. But here's the thing. If you promote Golding, Lane's taking the entire offensive staff, right? Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much, they're literally boarding the plane right now. Usually when you promote within, the goal is to keep your staff in place. And I don't think that's happening either way. I mean, Lane Kiffin literally is threatening to take all of them. He was like, if y'all don't let me coach the bowl game, I'm poaching the whole roster and whole coaching staff. So I don't know if they'll promote Golding, but I do think it's possible. It's just something like that like no one else is really thinking about.
Yeah. Appreciate Wall Hog says Hunter needs to be fired exactly at the instant he's in the next college football playoff presser. That'd be kind of funny. Reese Davis or Rich Davis, depending on who he's talking to, just be like, hey, you just got fired according to reports, your thoughts. That'd be great for TV. Dre says, feel like some of these reporters on X are Hunter Yurachek lackeys. Well, maybe, but that's why it's there's certain people you got to listen to, and certain people you got to just double check, triple check everything. Angel says, what we need to realize on how well planned this coaching hiring cycle in the SEC U of A knew was coming. Our administration kept Sam 2 years too long for another cheap coach.
That's facts.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it is. It's what it is. Ryan says, trash program. We can't fix it till 100 year checks here. Again, just reading the super chats. We feel you. We hear you.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Credit to Ryan, by the way, because he's been getting berated for not believing the goalish stuff all week.
No, honestly.
He's been getting berated by everybody.
I saw so many people in that Discord like, you're such a miserable human being. And if I was him after all that, I would be taking a victory lap.
There's nothing worse than like the most negative person you know being right. That's the worst thing in the world, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Trey just says skating rink protest, talking about the Jones Center. It's the academic. I wonder if anybody actually it's going to be funny. Someone showed up to the Jones Center.
They're split.
Yeah, just show up to the Jones Center with the kids out there playing. Yeah, all that. I am gut richness. LOL. Got rid of Sam to hire yet another position coach. It's like leave my wife because of my problems with my in-laws and marrying her sister. That's pretty good.
That's a good one. That's good.
I like that.
We need more humor. Good job.
Yes, levity to the situation. Bill says, fire her on your check today. Start statewide boycott. I assume he's way mean. Of Walmart, Tyson, JB Hunt, and all the boosters. Silverfield, my ass. Gruden looks really good now, doesn't he?
Oh, Gruden would have been way cooler than this. And Gruden, by the way, probably would have been a disaster, like if we're being honest. But at least today would have been funner, you know?
Yeah.
Because our imagination would have gotten to run well.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to our guy Dre. I guess if you're pink or red, you get one of those. He says, I am a silver. I'm one of those never say die fans. I hope I'm wrong, but I've never felt worse about an AD decision. Hunter Yurachek has to go.
Amen, Dre.
Hoping you guys would like that one.
Amen, Dre.
Just true. We got Dre says, where's our raffle money going? Well, I guess like $25,000. Oh, the smoke's been happening, guys. Put out the smoke.
No, he did it.
He did.
Okay. I at one point I thought that Hunter Yurachek. You remember when we did the whole slobber hog thing, and I was like, man, Hunter Yurachek has a lot of flaws, but like he usually at least knows what people are saying and what people are not saying and what people think, and he'll sometimes make jokes and. With the raffle, he knew people were very critical of the raffle, which is why he tried to do a victory lap. How did he misinterpret this so badly that he thought that tweet would go over well?
I just don't get, again, lack of awareness, lack of understanding, lack of everything.
Also, to answer the question of where our raffle money's going, that's like $5,000 a week, dude. It's really not that much. That's not going to move the needle.
Yeah, that's going to get you like maybe the leg of a decent linebacker.
Dude, he kept the comments on. So I'm going to give you guys the rest of the time we're doing this. I'm going to give you real-time updates on the ratio. We are currently at 123 comments to 26 likes.
In 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes. And a lot of people are putting out the red smoke of Razorback Stadium just being on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude.
A lot of people saying, read the room. This ain't it, bruh. There is a Hitler stash placed on Hunter Yurachek's face. There's the Bin Laden thing. Good grief. There's a guy with the plastic hog hat on with a pistol in his mouth. Okay, this is getting crazy. Anyway.
Oh boy. My goodness gracious. Let's see. Oh yeah. So hey, listen, there's like 25 people at the protest. So
that's big time.
Growth.
That'll get it done.
Lift every
shout out
voice.
to the people who feel some type of way going out there though, and you know what I mean? Like expressing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I want to also give some credit to the fans who were at Razorback Stadium yesterday. I was not one of them. I'm not in Fayetteville. I like kept every time they would pan to the crowd, I was like, man, those are real Those are real fans right there, man. Like to be miserable, 2-9, you're going into the game and you're just cold, rainy, Thanksgiving weekend, like being there for the Razorback, man, that's not for the faint of heart. And I respect that a lot, man.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm sorry. I keep thinking about the fact that he put out that tweet. 300 comments and 33 likes.
Okay.
Just incredible. We'll try to work through these, folks. Again, lots of stuff going on right now. Embrace hoops. They deserve it. I'm looking forward to watching this team develop and making it into the run of the Final Four this year. It'll be a fantastic Silverfield lining come March. So we'll just tune into the Palace every day for some positivity and some good stuff. And, you'll get that. You'll get some ball breakdowns in the games and beat Louisville on Wednesday, and everybody will feel.
They have to. I mean, is it fair to say that the Louisville game, it was already kind of a must-win game that, like, they needed to get it going. It is now the must-win of all must-wins, frankly.
This is a must-win. Yeah. This is for the entire state.
Yeah.
Also, can we start calling Ryan Silverfield the silver lining? Like, if he has any success whatsoever, we're going to start calling him the silver lining.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's good. Red Can Rich says, ban 1037 Buzz from U of A Athletics. You're not going to do that. JJ Jones says, Mike Irwin was so sure we were getting Franklin. A lot of people were sure of a lot of people. I don't remember him saying that, but either way. Hickory Hawk says, Ellis is right. The people who report false information as fact should be held accountable. These three have denied the university they cover by far the best coverage. Andrew can't say it, but I can. It's bull poop emoji. So
I want to reword the way I said it. It's not even as much about like we have to hold them accountable. It's more that like I just wish they would acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you were wrong, there's nothing wrong with being wrong, but just say that. You know, we don't have to like move the goalpost and be like, well, actually, I heard 3 weeks ago. Like, you know, that's what I'm sick of.
Yeah. Sasha Jack. Sorry, go ahead.
Recruiting guys know how to do this, by the way. Like Arkansas, just thought they were getting Baba, man. Like everything like saying what, and woke up the morning that it was going to happen and realized it wasn't and said that. And then the next morning on the pod at the Palace, I took my L. I went in my locker for Buzz Williams and said, hey, things changed last minute, but we thought this is where it was headed. It wasn't. Sucks to suck, and we move on. But yes, took that accountability and went with it. So it's harder for some people to do than others, but you know
who did do this, by the way? Otis Kirk. Y'all remember on, I guess it was Tuesday or Wednesday when Otis Kirk was like, I don't think Alex Golesh is interviewed. I don't think he's interested. And then the next day, whenever, all the reports of Alex Golesh being Arkansas's head coach, Otis came out and was like, listen, I got that information on Sunday. I trust that information. If I'm wrong, so be it. But like, that's just what I was told. He even did get in front of him, was like, listen, I'm not saying I'm for sure right. This is just what I was told. This is what I think. He wound up being right. I mean, who knows, did Alex Golesh interview? I don't know, but I appreciate like Otis is actually the one guy that I have seen be like, hey, I might've been wrong. We'll see. And then he wasn't even wrong.
Brandon Marcel, was this about you were about to bring up, Curtis? Oh, okay. Brandon Marcel just tweeted out that they are going to officially announce it shortly. I think we kind of knew that from the Yurchek fire, but just passing it along.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate Sasha Jack. I don't know if you had a chat in there. I'm sorry. It's just so much, but we appreciate the super chat a lot. Jackson Rice says the final straw on Hunter Yurchek. Kind of talked about that. It probably should be.
I don't think so though, because this had to be signed off on by the people who would be saying it's the final straw. You know what I mean? So
by the way,
people think it should be, but I don't know why it would.
There's 35 people now at the protest. I'm just keeping you updated on that too. So I got boots on the ground out there. So just to give everybody an idea. Scott says, after 35 years, I've succumbed to the fact that we are, I don't know what emoji that was supposed to be, but it's not showing up for us. But not only do we not get the best coach, but they emphatically run from us. So I'm going to assume it's like poop emojis or something like that. But yeah, I feel you, man. Sheesh. Okay. Heartbroken Hog. It's a shame the press conference is Thursday. I'm going to go to the game Wednesday and should have booed Hunter Yurchek and Silverfield when they brought them out at half. Again, don't boo Silverfield.
Yeah, don't boo him.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Seriously though, I know we're making a lot of jokes and we're talking about a lot. Ryan Silverfield has done nothing wrong here. Correct. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done wrong by you. Maybe he will. If they end up going 2-10 next year, yeah, boo Ryan Silverfield all you want. But it's like he has done nothing right now, other than just accept the job to be Arkansas's head coach, which we've been begging someone to do. So
that's it.
All the people I'm going to be mad at, it ain't Ryan Silverfield, at least not right now.
We've been begging someone to do it. That's the thing right there. Everybody is aware of Arkansas's situation, and you're all aware of how frustrated you are with, the athletic director and the lack of support and everything like that. And, say what you want about where he was on the list, but at least Ryan Silverfield believes in himself and believes in this enough to take the shot at it. And, is going to come here and he's going to catch some strays. That happens during a coaching search, but, I'm going to give him my support. I can't wait to hear him out, and we'll see how he does with it. But yeah, he's not the one to be mad at in this scenario by any means.
That's right. That's right. Direct your frustrations to the right place. And it's
also,
not
that
Ryan.
is Heartbreak Hogs, not to be confused with Heartbroken Hog.
That's right.
Or Matt, as they call him.
Yeah. Our guy Kingsley says, biggest loser in all this is Mrs. Golish. I know she wanted to come home. We couldn't do it.
Now she's just got to hang out with Quinn.
To be honest, she'll like it at Auburn, though.
Yeah, she'll have a good time there.
Auburn's nice.
She wants to, she just gets to hang out with Quinn.
Gonna be at Mama G's, Mama Goldberg.
I was yelling at Quinn in the DMs last night.
Well, dude,
keep your grubby paws off of Golish, man. And
you would think that if Golish chose Auburn over Arkansas, obviously, you would think that something like that would be a thing that like Quinn would be very in our face about. Quinn thought they were hiring DJ Durkin as well.
Yeah.
Which and I think a lot of people at Auburn did. So it's a very interesting thing. I think I even texted y'all's group message and I said, I don't think Auburn's a threat to get Alex Golish.
It's official. They have put out the tweet.
Okay.
Welcome to the Hill, Ryan Silverfield, introducing the 35th Razorback head football coach.
Shout out to 35, baby.
By the way, the tweet for Hunter Yurchek, 648 replies to 65 likes. So big ratio there. Goodness gracious. See,
we're getting accused for being Ryan Silverfield shills.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Just like
some
how
of y'all are dense, man. Some of y'all are real dense.
Everything we say gets misconstrued. It's unreal.
2 years of Silverfield, and then called Dowell Loggins. Well, all right. It's is that really going to make anybody get excited? We got another one. I got to do the, if it's pink or red, Appreciate Mr. Coxey saying the only standard we needed met in this coaching search was for the hire to move the needle for the fan base. This hire does not do that. So the only question is, does Silverfield put us in a better position to change the culture? I'll hang up and listen. That is the ultimate question.
That is the ultimate question.
Yeah. We won't know until we know. I mean, you're hopeful for it, but right now it just doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way. Oh, man. Okay. It's official. We are the EBT of the SEC, according to jeez, man. Red says starting petition today for Hunter Yurchek replacement. Good luck. Jason says, how poetic will Music City Bowl be now? I don't know what you mean, like poetic in what way, but it'd be nice just to get there. I'll tell you that.
I would love to go to the Music City Bowl.
Yeah. Branson, a good one, says Durkin let a kid die at Maryland. WTF? Okay, well,
that did happen.
Yeah. I will say, as somebody pointed out to me, it's like it could be a problem, but his wife is Memphis native, and she's named Katie Van Landingham. Just throwing it out there. Let's see. This is Coach Pelfrey says this makes me look like Adolph Rupp. Okay, relax. Okay, Satya, now it has a super chat. Appreciate it. Says, is it possible to donate only to basketball and baseball? If Hunter Yurchek isn't fired by Christmas, I'm done. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Just talk to people. They'll help you out with that. Titan Pig says Trey Chef sabotaged the Golish hire. Maybe he is a troll and did on purpose. He didn't sabotage. It had nothing to do with that, man. I mean, it was a bad look, but this hiring of Brian Silverfield at Arkansas has nothing to do with any of the reports or tweets or anything like that.
Well, why would Trey Schaff do that, frankly?
Yeah. I'd say just
I don't know why he did what he did, but like, why would he want to sabotage the Arkansas job?
Yeah.
Right.
That wouldn't make sense. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. Might be Mike says another head coach who doesn't call plays can't stop tweeting if need be. I hope I eat my words and he does good though. Which
who's
again,
play caller?
I will say, historically speaking, head coaches that call their own plays don't have a crazy amount of success. Like there are way more examples of it not going well than there are of great coaches that are called. Like of the top 10 coaches in the country right now, Sarkisian, I think, calls his own plays maybe.
Yeah.
Does Kiffin call his own plays?
always thought he did. I know Petrino does. Like, I know that. But
and but I'm just like, most of the best head coaches in the sport do not call their own plays. Kirby
Correct.
Smart's not calling the plays. Dan Lanning's not calling the plays. I don't even believe Cignetti calls the plays.
Yeah. Reagan says we need Andrew down there reporting live from the Jones Center. Well, he's not. He's not around.
Which, by the way, I will say, I texted you guys. I was very worried because I'm in Arkadelphia and I will be driving to Fayetteville at some point today. This morning, I was having a conversation with Hillary. I'm like, dude, when should we go home? I'm like, should we just wake up at the crack of dawn at 6 and go? Should we wait and go? And which is what we're going to do now. We're going to go after. But I was like, I really don't know what to do here. I was really worried that the announcement was going to happen while I was driving.
I would like to point out from our group text last night that I nailed it with the time of announcement. I just got the guy wrong.
Yep.
So, as I said, 10 a.m. goalish.
Okay, you bragging? That was bragging camp.
Yeah, I'm patting myself on the back. Everybody else is,
Yeah. I'm serious though. Like once this live stream ends, I am going to just drive over there just to see what the protest looks like. Like some people were like, you need to be out there I'm not getting out there with signs, man. Like that's not my gig, but I'll check it out and I may talk to some of you and interview you and make content out of it because I'll do that. Let's see. Cole says the plane has landed in Memphis. Sadness. Well, plane tracking still alive. Good to see. Kaiser 479 is live at the protest news on site too. Yeah, I knew that. We were keeping updated with that. Appreciate all these super chats, by the way, folks. It's so nice of you. Like you don't have to do this, but it's very, very much appreciated. Steven says this has nothing to do with hiring Silverfield and everything to do with the lack of urgency and foresight on the part of the athletic department, which is true.
Right here.
Yep. David's I read super chats. David says Chuck and Bo are going to tell us we were all idiots for trying to protest and that this was a home run hire. I can't wait for that ratio.
Maybe not. I will say I saw a person involved with that operation over there that put out a tweet that applauded some of the good things that that Silverfield has done, but also pointed out that he has zero SEC experience and that usually doesn't translate well. And so, as critical as that operation can be, there's already been a little bit of that. So
yeah. Well, again, what interview he'll do first in the media. At least you know that. I am Prue says when Sam got hired, we needed dignity to be restored. Now we're longing for a mere heartbeat, and we can't even get that. Fire your chat. I understand, man. I understand. Hog fan Zero says we would have loved Womack as head coach and Bobby P as OC. Defensive coaches are winning all over the country. Why not try that route at least once? I mean, the whole Bobby P at OC thing is just not, it wasn't going to be a thing. He was not going to be an OC, then become the head coach, wanting the head coaching job, and then stay on as the OC. Like, it's just wasn't a reality thing. Plus, if you hire Womack needs to bring in whoever he wants, like not who he has to do. And that's the same thing with Silverfield. Like, he needs to bring in whoever he wants. So, yeah. I don't know why this one got highlighted, but show protest live stream. Yeah, I guess there's a live stream over there. I'm Prue says Julie Cromer is assistant AD at LSU. This sucks. Okay. All right.
It does suck.
Yeah, it does suck. Goodness. I'm trying to get some of this stuff is just again regurgitate stuff, but can't take Discord victory laps because I left. I was 24-houred last night for one post saying we weren't getting goalish. Well, I guess that goes to where you're getting roasted. But hey, join the club. If you get roasted in the Discord, it's like a path of what they call it. I don't know. I can't even think words.
Hey, they hated Jesus too. They rejected his message as well. So.
Yeah, we saw that. That's how that ended up. Mrs. Dansvan, love it. She says, hey, maybe now the refs will feel sorry for us and stop picking on us.
Don't count on it.
They should have been feeling sorry for us a long time before right now, frankly.
Mm-hmm. By the way, if you guys want a ratio update, we are at 903 comments, 96 likes for 100-yard checks tweet. So just letting you, we're almost to 1,000 versus 100. It's 10-1, boys. 10-1 ratio. No, Bobby's not being kept on as OC. Sorry, Chance. Arkansas, we are ass, my dudes. Okay. All right. Scott, don't know what your chat was. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Foreshadowing, since the best we could hope for was it on a yearly basis is Liberty Bowl, this hire is fitting. That's a great, funny comment. Appreciate that. Hey, and also, it's positive. You now have a football and basketball coach that used to coach at Memphis. So,
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Hog Fan Zero. Heck no, Silverfield is doing us a favor. This is a win-win for him. I
would agree he's not doing us a favor, but I'm just saying, like, there's nothing that Ryan Silverfield has done wrong here.
Correct.
Like, what was he supposed to do? Like, if they called you today and offered you the job, you'd probably take it. Even if you weren't qualified, you'd be like, well, I mean, if you're going to pay me $7 million and, I get a fancy office and everything, like I'd probably take the job. So I definitely don't begrudge Ryan Silverfield for, taking a chance, for taking a swing.
Well,
he's daring to be great, and maybe he won't end up being great, but he's like maybe the only guy in the Arkansas athletic department right now that I can actually say is trying to do good.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Let's see. V. Vermoose says the program in the Northeast is a winning culture is Harding, not Jonesboro. Okay, let's not start a holy war here of small schools in Arkansas. Who's got the better program besides Arkansas? Let's see. Howdy saw him off. Says, y'all care to predict Silverfield's record for the 2026 season as head coach of the U of A and don't say 6-7 like 100-year check. I mean, dude, we don't even know what the roster looks
we don't
like.
even know what the
So
team looks
fitting
like.
if Ryan Silverfield took Arkansas to the Liberty Bowl and then lost so that his record literally was 6-7.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Our first ever Liberty Bowl loss. That'd be horrible.
Yeah. We have to know, we got to know what the roster looks like first, man. Let's see. Michael says, I will not renew my season tickets and donation until Silverfield hopefully proves me wrong in a couple of years. They should not announce him at Bud. Well, they're going to announce him.
Well, they're going to announce him Thursday at 1 p.m. according to the release.
What? Sorry?
They're going to announce him Thursday at 1 p.m. according to the release.
All right. So I guess we got some things I guess we'll be doing Inside Arkansas Live after the press conference that day instead of during it. But I assume, is it a fan invited event or just media only?
I don't know. My source is Daniel Shee, and so I don't,
Okay. We'll
Who
keep you updated on that. Moses DeCourcy says, is there anyone on Memphis we would want Silverfield to bring with him?
I need to go look at their roster. We talked about the quarterback. That's probably a no-go. I think he's a senior anyway. I mean, they had some good players.
They had receivers that were good.
I think so. I'm trying to remember. They had a running back. I felt like that was racking up the yards there. I don't remember his name. I had to go back and look. Oh.
Yeah, we'll get again. That's what this week is going to be all about, folks. Is like we're just doing live reactions today, but when it comes to all that breakdown and stuff, we'll be getting into that this week. All right, Drain Hogs says, I feel sad for making my child a Hog fan. Hogs are creating generational hurt.
Listen, I've thought about this a lot because I saw somebody the other day talking about this where he's like, my son's 2. So I have to make a decision here soon of like what direction. Curtis has to make that decision in a few years as well of like, do you give him the free reign and say, hey, you can be a fan of whoever you want? Do you force him to be a Hog fan? I think you should force him to be a Hog fan, frankly. There's no better way to learn about the harsh reality of this world we live in than being a Razorback fan. Teach him how to handle adversity. Teach him how to regulate his emotions. Teach him how to understand hard times and to come out of the other end of it. If you let him go be a fan of another team, I'm sure he'll be a happier person, definitely a happier sports fan. But will he know how to dig deep when times get tough? Probably not. Probably
not. Shout out to our guy Haystack. I don't know if he had another chat in there, but I remember Haystack from working with him back in the radio days. Sorry if I missed your chat that you were trying to follow up, but we appreciate the super chat nonetheless. But yeah, again, appreciate everybody that's been tuning in here. It's been awesome. And also, Bill says the local price should boycott the local press, I assume. But hold on.
I think that's probably press.
Press should boycott the press conference. Oh, well, I don't think the press is going to boycott the press conference. I think they're probably just going to go to the press conference. So, sheesh. Okay, that's all of our super chats, guys. We've been going for over like 2.5 hours. I mean, I know we're going to have a lot to break down, a lot to discuss, and a lot of all that stuff, but there's any final thoughts, anything else that we missed, we want to cover, anything like that? I mean, I think we nailed it as far as reactions. So I think it's all been said.
I guess I will just summarize the tweet that I just put out, which is basically what we've been saying all along of like, there's a lot to be upset about. There's a lot of people that I'm disappointed in. There's a lot of people that I'm angry with. A lot of people that I feel like, especially at the U of A, that like maybe aren't taking this as seriously and I don't really believe their goal is to be a great football program. And there's also people in the media, people in the fan base that I feel like have done some things that have pissed me off. Among those list of people that I'm pissed at and angry with, Ryan Silverfield is just not among them, honestly. And will he soon be? Maybe. And do I have high hopes for his tenure? Not necessarily at all. Nor do I think you should. Like, I'm not trying to convince you should, but we do. Like at some point, as we've said, we're going to talk ourselves in, And we don't necessarily have to do that, but we do. What are we going to do? Just abandon the Razorback? And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to, but we're hogs, man. We live and die with this stuff, and we are going to live and die with Ryan Silverfield, whether we like it or not. And so it sucks. I'm surprised by the way this played out, but all we can do is move forward and hope it turns out better than we hope. And I'm definitely going to give him that chance, man. I definitely don't want to have a scenario where Ryan Silverfield comes in and does a great job and really helps the problem, and then I'm not able to look back and say, oh, man, I didn't give him a chance. Oh, man, I counted him out and didn't even give him an opportunity. I don't want to be that guy. Will that lead to me being disappointed? Probably, but I'm going to give him a chance, and I expect most of you, as angry as you are right now, you probably will give him a chance as well, and we'll just see how this thing goes, man. But I'm looking forward to hearing his press conference, hearing what he has to say, and continuing to break down every angle of this thing like we do here in Inside Arkansas. And appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys, Curtis and John, for being awesome as well.
And I didn't know you're good, Curtis. I didn't know if you had the final thought.
No, I mean, I'm not. I don't have to reiterate everything I've said 100 times already today. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fine. I just wanted to make
stand on everything I said for the last 2.5 hours. So there we go.
No, guys, I feel the same way. And again, we're going to have all the coverage here at Inside Arkansas, folks. So for everything that's going on, staff hires, coaching hires, player additions, subtractions, everything right here at Inside Arkansas. This is just getting started of chaos and craziness and awesomeness and wildness. And we're going to have it all here at Inside Arkansas. So be sure to subscribe to us here on Inside Arkansas. So be sure to check out all of our social media at Inside Arkansas. Be sure to check out all of our audio podcasts, wherever podcasts are found, whether it's Pod at the Palace, Inside Arkansas Live, the Bombastic Podcast, Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast, because I know Dudley's going to be on top of that with all the new recruiting there. And we're going to keep it going. And that'll do it for us today. For Andrew Ellis, Curtis Wilkerson, intern Cameron, I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow. We'll see you live for Inside Arkansas Live tomorrow at noon. Try to have a great rest of your day, folks, and we will see you then.